It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Hello.
Hi, Maury.
What's going on?
Not much. Welcome to the Free Beer Hot Wings Show.
What am I going to do? What?
I'd like to welcome to the show Eli Gold, writer of book Bears Boys, also sportscaster. Got sent this book here to talk about the book Bears Boys.
And boom goes the dynamite.
The book about the 36 men whose lives were changed by Coach Paul Bryant.
36 men's.
Everyone loves chewing on hot dogs.
That's right.
Nice and chewy. I had an all beef this weekend. That was delicious.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
What is the name of the game?
It's the Don King video about the boxing.
He said the Don King video about the boxing.
I was in cheerleading all through high school, and that hasn't
Being a cheerleader is like winning the Super Bowl.
But even being close to a high school field gets you all amped up, so I can't even imagine what it would be like to play.
Now, what position do you play?
69!
It's a movie called One Too Many. It's about a guy who has had no luck with monogamy, so he wants to find a girl that'll allow other women into bed with him. Sounds pretty good, huh, Kurt?
Oh, yeah, sounds real funny.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And how long is your show?
5 hours.
5 hours?
Yep.
You're on the radio for 5 hours?
Yes, sir.
It's Tuesday. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. I'm Free Beer.
I'm Hot Wings.
Hello, Hot Wings.
Hello, Free Beer.
Hello, Eric Zane.
Ooh.
Hello, Producer Joe.
How's it going, everybody?
Good.
Nice.
Hello, Steve.
Morning.
Joe is beard-free for the first time in quite some time. How long had you had your beard, Joe?
What'd you say?
How long had you had that beard that you had been by yesterday, and by recent time it was a complete full Zach Galifianakis, the hangover beard?
Yeah, dude. Probably mid-July.
Oh, man.
Been a while.
Bummed.
Yeah, I know.
So
I did.
used to it. I didn't like it without it.
It'll be back. I didn't mean to trim it so much.
Yeah, and then you just said, damn it.
Yeah, I put the wrong guard on, and then you gotta keep
Once
going.
you committed, it's over there.
Now you
Yeah.
just got like a mid-90s cool guy beard.
Yeah, roll up your sleeve, Don Johnson.
Yeah. So it's coming back. It's not gone.
Yeah, Joe, when you were on our bike ride the other day, when you were wearing shorts and a T-shirt in 39-degree temperatures, I witnessed several people say, I wish I could grow a beard like that. And
Really?
they thought it was so cool that you look like a mountain man.
A crazy guy wearing shorts.
You do. You look like Grizzly
Adams
I thought,
when
man,
you
that
grow
guy's
that thing out.
hardcore. He doesn't even have any gear. And look at that beard.
The beard kept you warm.
It's the only thing you had.
If you hadn't had that, you'd have been cold.
I know.
It was long enough that it was actually what Hot Wings and I would refer to as a JR beard, inspired by that former student that we had that always had a long, unkept beard.
Except that his beard didn't grow in like Joe's does.
No.
His beard grows in like mine does,
Couple
meaning
holes.
it's all kind of patchy and looks stupid. Oh, God, what an ugly guy.
Your beard is thick in some spots, and it's like you have the mange in others.
Yeah, that was not good.
I was inspired last year or the year before by Joe's Christmas beard, and decided I wanted to see while we were on vacation how well mine would grow in. Yeah,
That's hard, man.
not at all. That
Looks
big,
stupid.
wide open spots. It looks like a population map if you focus on Wyoming and Montana.
You know what looks really crazy? For a minute, I considered just leaving the mustache because I shaved everything else and I saved the mustache for last. That looks crazy.
I wish you'd have done it for one. Even if you had just worn it in here and then shaved during a commercial break, that would have been something.
Maybe I will do it.
Yeah, your big fancy porno mustache.
Oh. Why don't we all grow them?
All right.
Yeah.
We'll all grow a mustache. That would be ridiculous.
That would be
It would be
bad.
fine when we were all together and doing a radio function, but as soon as I was alone and went anywhere or out to dinner with just my wife, and I looked like Will Forte playing a child rapist on Saturday Night Live, I wouldn't like that at all. Because whenever he plays that kind of creepy character, all they do is add a mustache to his face. That's all they do.
Well, it would be good. You and I could start now, and then Zane and Joe could grow theirs like in May.
I'm telling you,
in
you
a
got me
day.
pegged wrong.
Right.
You got me pegged wrong. For some reason, it looks like I can, but I cannot grow a beard. it gets crazy. It looks like free beers, is what he just described.
Really?
That's wild, because you have a shadow, like, at the end of the show.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
you got one now.
Well, I haven't shaved in days. I haven't shaved in days, so that's why it is the way it is right
yours,
now.
It grows. Yours grows in evenly. I mean,
That's the thing. I don't think it does when
it
just
starts
by
to get
looking
longer?
at it. When it looks longer, for some reason it stops growing in various spots. I don't know why. Looks terrible.
all the
This
more
is
reason
stupid.
to grow it out now.
Oh man, it looks like a crazy homeless idiot.
You would look like a skinny Sean, the engineer.
Yeah.
Big
Skinny
white
Sean.
mane.
Oh boy, I can't even begin to tell you how. I don't know how to take that. A skinny Sean.
Steve, can you grow a beard?
Mine grows in really well for the first 2 weeks, like really evenly, and then it just stops.
It all falls out.
By the way,
It just stops.
Yeah, it doesn't like.
Well, that seems very convenient, actually. You always have a perfect beard.
By the way, I'm glad we brought up Sean because we had a conversation with him the other day, and this is not to insult him, but we did have an interesting. It wasn't. This is not to insult him. I will say that right now because I did that before, and I did hurt his feelings. I don't want to do that. But Sean is a practicing pagan, and he's talked many times about being a witch. And I said, "Hey, Sean, a witch? I got a question for you. What is it?" And I said to him, deadpan, serious. I go, "A witch to me is a female. Are you a wizard or a warlock?" And he goes, no way, neither. I am not. I am a witch. And Joe goes, wait a minute. No, you can't be a witch. Harry Potter's a wizard. You're a wizard.
I was witness to this. Zane and Joe couldn't believe that there was not a gender-specific term.
A
for-
witch is like Hermione.
You must be a warlock. I am not a warlock.
Yes,
what
you
about
are.
a wizard? No, I'm not a wizard. Yes, you are. Are you a man? Yes. Then you're a warlock.
He goes to me, he goes, "Warlock means oath breaker." It's very offensive.
I guess so.
But it sounds cool.
Yeah.
So there is such a thing in the in I guess the pagan belief that there is a crazy renegade called a warlock. So that would not be him
You
apparently.
don't want to be a
No.
warlock. That
No,
does
it's
sound
very,
offensive. I
very
wouldn't want to be
negative.
known as an oath breaker.
He is either a mage, a wizard, or a sorcerer.
What is it? Well,
I
I don't think
haven't
he's
heard
any
of
of
mage.
those.
Yeah,
what
what
is
is
a
a
mage?
mage?
I don't know. It's one of those D&D type of characters. A spell user.
Just applying terms from video games
know
and
it.
board games.
He's got hit points. I'm wearing chainmail today. You can't see it.
But I rolled a 19, so it's there.
I'm devastating to any orc. So
This wasn't to make fun of him.
well, the key is though that it all started with this whole thing about gender specificity. I think I'm saying that right. And him being a witch, and that is to me it's a female thing. Pointy hat, riding a broom. I'll get you, my pretty. Those are my stereotypes. How about yours?
The movie stereotype. Why aren't you green?
Where's your wart? If we throw water on you, are you going to melt?
Now we start jumping to that conclusion that it's always weird witch stuff. Sean brings a brown bag lunch. We go, "Oh, what you got, Hansel or Gretel?"
Newts.
Newts.
Toads. So
None of that is true.
Yeah, so he says, no. We're on. There's no such thing. Just to be clear, there are no warlocks and wizards, Joe. It's a witch. That's it. It's witch and only witch.
And they don't sit
Male or
around
female.
and
You don't buy that. You don't accept that.
And they don't sit around and cast spells and
Yeah,
all that
it's all
jazz.
about the earth and nature and things like that.
Yeah.
That's part of the ritual.
I like how Joe refuses to believe it. You know it's true? Yeah, I do, but I don't want to believe it, so no.
But really, it's all fairy tale
Oh,
anyways, so who cares?
No, don't do that.
It's all made up.
No. How is it that I'm telling you to scale it back? You're getting the look.
Yeah, just because you're...
I avoided the look. You're getting the look.
Well, that's because Joe's godless in every way, so he thinks they're all fairy tales.
Is that true, Joe?
No.
That makes what you said even worse.
That does make what you said worse. I thought it was true.
Yeah. Oh, trying to help.
Which fairy tale do you throw your heart behind?
All the good ones.
All the ones.
All the good
I
ones.
see.
I mix them up.
Sounds like
Take
you
the
might
good
be
parts.
backpedaling.
Uh-huh.
Joe's a voodoo man.
The voodoo. Well,
What are you gonna do? Joe, you mentioned you were reading an article yesterday about a guy dying at a sweat lodge, right?
Yeah.
My wife's going to one of those this
There were
weekend.
several in California.
Two people I think died.
A lot of injuries. A lot of people got sick.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
They went.
Yeah,
and,
they had to empty the whole thing out.
They were doing their thing, and then when they came out to the outside air, they lost it. They fell apart. They came unglued. I don't know what the hell happened. If they threw arsenic on the hot rock or what.
I don't know. My wife actually is not going to be in the sweat lodge. She's going to be the stonekeeper or whatever name they.
Stonekeeper.
I don't know. I may have made stonekeeper up. But
she's the boiling water wench at this.
Because it's some 60-year-old lady that normally does it, and you have to select super hot rocks and throw them in there, and my wife didn't want to be in the sweat lodge, but she wanted to help out somehow, so she's going to haul heavy hot rocks.
That sounds awful.
It does. I go, wow. Yeah.
That doesn't sound relaxing
I
at
can't
all.
believe you took off work so you could haul hot rocks.
That sounds like something you want to do when you want to work out but not join a gym.
What if people die? Is she going to be charged?
Probably. So I'll probably have to go visit her in some sort of women's prison. That'll be something. 1-800-947-3979. Would you guys like to know, whether you'd like to know or not, CNN has a list of the 10 greatest jobs in America. And a lot of them we know what they are, but there's a couple where I'm like, I don't know what they are. And also, there's another new iPhone app. There's about 40,000 new iPhone apps. Hot Wings, you sent one that involved licking your iPhone, I believe, a week or two ago. This one also falls into the creepy category.
Okay.
We'll tell you about those coming up in a moment. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
More Carter Obama, soon Bill Clinton. You see a pattern here, folks. Liberal sellouts get this prize. George Bush liberates 50 million Muslims.
Your laugh says you didn't believe it.
It was comical.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. Check out the website, freebeerandhotwings.com. We don't often say it, but you're always welcome to call during any segment at the phone number, 1-800-947-3979. So the iPhone, you see the commercials all the time. There's an app for that, and they're really because Joe bought one over the summer, Steve bought one over the summer, I bought one over the summer, and there really is an app for everything, especially if you want to pay for it. I've committed to only free apps. Joe, how many have you bought?
2.
Were they what were they?
One of them was one that my girlfriend asked me to buy, which was where you said things into it, and then a little animal on the screen would talk back to you in a hilariously high voice.
You showed that to my wife and I. That cost you money?
99 cents.
That's 98 cents over. No, it's 99 cents overpriced.
I sent her the invoice. She never paid me.
No, she owes you.
That's ridiculous.
I know. And then I paid $3.19 for my T-Pain app that I never used.
You did?
It does,
this is
the auto-tune application makes your voice sound stupid.
Well, that was an easy sell then, because I was sitting at my desk in the office and I said, "Hey, did you hear about this app you could do where you all you got to do is download it and then you talk into your phone and it auto-tunes your voice like that rapper?" And Joe goes, "I'm sold," looks it up, and buys it.
I bought it, and then I couldn't figure out how to use it, and that's all. That's the end.
You've never used it?
No.
Steve, how about you? How many apps have you bought?
I haven't bought any yet.
You're only free?
Yeah.
Me too. In fact, you and I were just, the three of us were exchanging that email about the best free apps or whatever. And you can download all sorts of things, but there's starting to become more and more that are a little bit weird. Well, maybe they've always been there, but maybe I'm just paying more attention now. Hot Wings, there was one. What was the one where you had to? They wanted you to lick your phone.
I think it was just called iLick. I can't actually. I don't remember exactly, but food items would appear on the screen of your phone, and then because it's a touch screen, you would lick the food off the phone, like an ice cream cone would show up on your phone, and you would lick the screen of your phone, and the ice cream cone would disappear where you licked.
I don't know why anyone.
And I go, who would want to lick their phone? Like it seemed like the stupidest thing in the world to me. I couldn't believe somebody sat around and decided to do that.
Do you remember, was that a pay one?
I don't think so.
Because if you could make even $50 off getting people to lick their phone, that seems like you're a genius.
I'd get it if an image of a mitt popped up.
That
walk around with
that might be available.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, it's possible.
Need to look for it a little bit.
That would be. I would buy that app just to be able to just go, hey guys, watch this. I'm chowing.
I would buy it for Joe and make him go out and do it at a bus stop or something
That'd be a
like
good
that.
Joe stunt.
Joe, that seems
Hey,
seems
everybody.
awesome, right?
Look what I'm doing.
Check me out.
You send Joe to a church, sitting there listening to the sermon.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if there is an app out there right now called Mitlick.
Or something like
it.
iMit. Well, here's another perverted one. Not quite as perverted as that. A Japanese tech firm called, a lot of these come from Japan.
Oh, yeah, there's a deviant.
A tech firm called BottleCube has developed a new iPhone app called Puff.
Yeah.
There is a YouTube link if you do a search for this. If you search for Puff, you probably can find it. This is for all those people who like upskirt photos but don't like getting sent to jail for being a pervert.
Oh, no.
All you do is blow into your iPhone's microphone, and the harder you blow, the higher the girl's skirt lifts and louder of squeals she makes.
That seems really stupid.
That seems dirty and weird.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much this iPhone app costs or, frankly, why you would buy it. But that's out there.
That's disgusting. I was looking at another one today as well that was just in the USA Today, and it's an iPhone application that unlocks and starts your car.
Yeah?
From anywhere.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So if you have keyless entry...
Well, you don't even need keyless entry. You just need electric windows and locks. But what you do need is a receiver that gets installed in the car that is going to go on sale at like Best Buy for $499.
So it's essentially a remote start.
And I thought, well, why wouldn't you just get a remote start that costs less? Because how far away do you really need to start your car? Do you really need the ability to start your car in Detroit when you're in Kansas City? You know what I mean? Because that's what it allows you to do.
Because remote starts, you can buy one that...
They start like a mile away if you want.
If you want, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't fathom why anyone would get that.
Did you guys ever hear about this iPhone app? You lick your phone and Nope.
No, what's your iPhone app? Tell us about it.
It just hits. You just keep chowing. Joe, do you have this one? Was this 99 cents?
No, but this one's Japanese too.
Did your girlfriend ask you to download this?
Yeah.
You haven't used it yet.
Here is the Puff one that you were talking about. That apparently you said you blow into the microphone and then.
Oh, yeah, that's hot.
That's creepy.
So hot.
So it's a girl standing at a copier, and she has a short skirt on, and you hear the weirdo blow, and then her skirt blows up, and then she makes that squeal, as you heard.
Uh-huh. Let's see who's going to do it again.
My gosh. How long can that possibly be entertaining?
For molesters?
That's a thing, man.
I don't know. I played paper toss on the toilet till my legs fell asleep. That was a free one.
Wow. That one just looks
really
cool,
true,
though. I
by
actually
the way.
saw that one.
The paper toss one? Look, because you got to compensate for the fan that's sitting there.
Yeah.
You flick, and it bends way to the right and goes back in the trash can. It's the most entertaining thing ever for about 4 minutes of a time. I can't wait to use up all my battery the next time I'm on an airplane playing paper toss.
Uh-huh.
That's the way. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. While we're talking about stupid gadgets you can buy, for those who feel their butt is not shapely enough, if you want, you can buy underwear with built-in butt implants.
To give yourself a little more ass?
Give yourself a little more round. for those who are concerned that their butt may, in fact, be too flat. This is available through AOL Shopping.
This is good because there's nothing worse than a flat ass for a man or woman.
I'm going to start wearing that. I got a pretty flat ass.
It's a terrible look. You need to
fill out my pants.
You'll be okay, though, as long as you keep doing those lunges. I notice you're starting to get some ass.
Yeah?
And that's key.
I appreciate you noticing. I've been really trying.
Chicks want a guy with an ass. I mean, not a fat ass, a strong ass.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I have a non-existent white guy ass. So I'm working on that with lunges and squats.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A big muscular ass is a turn-on for a chick. Not a fat ass, a muscular ass.
Had you truly noticed that Hot Wings' ass was getting more developed?
Absolutely. But because before it went straight down. I mean, it was like the small of his back would curve in and then straight down. It was awful. I hated walking behind you. It was terrible. I want to look at your ass.
Stand up and show me and Zane and Joe and Steve your butt.
Pull the pants up tight. Now bend over.
No, don't bend
look
over.
Look at. Oh, yeah. There it is.
At least one person just decided to never listen to our show again. Well, I've heard you guys joke about stuff, but that was just too gay. I'm going to catch your gay through the radio.
You see Joe, on our bike ride, you saw some good guy ass on that ride, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
You see all that ass?
Yeah, you built a good, solid ass.
Had some really strong asses.
Zane, have you ever had a moment where you just sort of got lost in your thoughts and started admiring an ass and then thought, I better find out which gender I'm looking at?
Oh, big time. As soon as like when you get behind some of those dudes, they got good asses. It's like, oh, man, Jesus, I got to get behind a chick real quick here.
And even the fat ones are good on a bike seat.
I haven't seen any of those. I haven't seen any fat asses on a bike seat.
Yeah, I disagree.
But that's if you see a fat ass on a bike seat, that is never a good thing. You want a good, round, voluptuous, muscular ass. It might have some thud to it, but you don't. Some thud. Like Hot Wings is getting some thud, and that is key.
Hot Wings, have you gained weight? You've mostly gained muscle, haven't you?
Not much, yeah. No, I haven't really gained any
You've
weight.
lost fat, but gained muscle. It's gonna be nominal.
153.
The weight increase. 153. Holy cow! I can't believe that.
Yeah.
You're so tiny.
And you've been that weight for as long as I've known you.
Forever. Aww. Pretty much, yeah. My highest was 160.
You keep it up, you're gonna be like Bruce Lee, man, all wiry and crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking to kick some ass. Is what I'm looking.
Hot Wings, 1-inch punch Joe. See how strong you are.
Yeah, enter the dragon.
If you can knock Joe over, that means your strength has become super.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm at super knockdown Joe strength yet, but I'm working on it.
I like how our only test is 1-inch punch of Joe.
Yep. See how hard you can hit a guy from 1 inch away.
Flashback on the way is a conversation with the lady who is in charge of SweetOnGeeks.com. It's a dating service for people who love geeks.
So no doubt some insults. It turns sideways.
Seems very likely.
I would guess.
That's on the way. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
Look at the opening right where Josh Hall was sitting. It's just one where I think he expected Nutt to settle down right there in the hole. Here's the guy who had him in man, which is Mike Williams. He also comes, and then that frees it for an easy release by Moeaki. And lowers the boom again on Daryl Clark. Has to be careful. He came a little high to Clark's face.
Oh, my gosh. You do have to be careful.
Yeah.
You're respectful. Meanwhile, flashback today. SweetOnGeeks.com. We talked to the people who run that. Probably, sadly, more familiar with this than the other side. SweetOnGeeks.com, a dating website just for geeks and nerds. President Joyce Dales joins us. Hello, Joyce. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Very good. You are the president of SweetOnGeeks.com, right?
That's right. I'm not going to wind up on Idiot of the Day, am I?
It's not out of the question, but I doubt it.
No, you wouldn't know. You don't sound like an idiot.
No, you sound like a hot geek.
Not quite. Not quite.
No? Are you based in New Hampshire?
Yes, I am.
I thought so. I thought with the 603 area code. Do you listen on the Hawk?
Yes, I do.
Well
good.
done.
Well,
Well,
there
you're
you go.
already going to get less of a pasting then.
No, you're in the clear. There's no question.
Excellent,
Tell,
brothers.
Joyce, tell everyone what Sweet on Geeks is.
Sweet on Geeks is a dating space for geeks, nerds, dorks, spazzes, and anybody that loves those people.
Okay. So this is entirely dedicated. Like, for someone to go on this, they would have to determine by themselves that they are indeed a geek or nerd, which is a bit of a revelation already.
Well, I think most of us are pretty self-identified. I mean, you know it. By the time you're ready to start dating and marrying, you've figured out you're a dork.
Okay. That's true. Like intern Kurt Busch, he's a huge gaming guy. When you look at him, you go, normal-looking dude. And then he starts talking about, like, Magic the Gathering and
kind of
everything
a dork.
else.
Mhm.
And then, because the other day he brought in his cards, and I go, this is the nerdiest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And he goes, oh, yeah, I know.
He sounds totally hot.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I bet you'd like him. Kurt Busch would be a nice addition to your website.
Yes, he would.
I'm not convinced he's not already on your website.
Now, so you're a nerd yourself, right, Joyce?
Yeah, I'm totally a nerd.
What makes you a nerd?
Well, it started way back in high school when I thought I would get elected to student council by hanging signs everywhere that says Spock endorses Crosby for VP.
What's nerdy about that?
I so wasn't getting any in high school.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly. You didn't win, did you?
No, I didn't.
Of course you didn't. There's no way.
No, they did. Now, you didn't realize it at the time, but did you come to grips that somebody may be making fun of you in high school at some point?
I actually thought that people would think that was really funny and cool.
Mm-hmm. It is amazing how there's an actual, like, nerd/geek sense of humor that other people just look at it and go, I don't get it.
Did you have to, like, put out to make friends back then?
No. In college that works, but no.
Was this a toss-up between that and, like, I'm endorsed by the Ministry of Silly Walks?
Yes. I threw out my Monty Pythonisms and nobody got them.
I probably would have voted for you.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we were all nerds.
Yeah.
So,
some preppy girl with big boobs won.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, not you, not the nerd. And you probably had good cans, too, but you wore too much clothes, didn't you?
That's right. I was all in black.
Oh.
Yeah, you were listening to The Cure.
Joyce Dales joins us. He's the president of Sweet on Geeks. So how many people are on your website?
About 7,000 now.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Geek Revolution, man. They're all coming.
Now, have you? Did you meet your husband? And you guys did this together? Am I right in that?
I met my husband on Match.com.
Okay.
It was really hard to find him. This was 5 years ago, and that was one of the fewer options.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And my brother, who's 38 and the biggest geek on the planet.
Does he still live at home?
No.
Thought you were going to say yes.
Well, I don't know if in my garage counts.
Does he live in your garage?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's even worse.
What an idiot.
It's actually a house. It's not a garage.
What does he do that makes him nerd other than the fact that he lives like Chuck on Happy Days?
He is the biggest collector of things. He hoards things. They have to be in mint condition.
Oh yeah. I like the way you say that, too, like comic book guy.
That's him. And he's 38, and he's really funny and really
Yeah? Have you ever found his retainer in your dishwasher?
I would tell you the things I've found.
Oh, yeah.
So you met your husband on Match.com, and then you guys started talking about, hey, this might be a good idea, right?
Yeah, because my brother got rejected by eHarmony.
Oh, he got rejected? That actually happens?
I didn't know they turned anyone away.
I know that they say they do, but I didn't think they really did.
No, for real, it really happens. You get a nice, polite form letter that says, I'm sorry, there's no matches for you at this time. You are unmatchable.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, that's got to be like a knife through the liver, man.
Yeah, you're rejected by an automated system.
Now,
a bummer.
Joyce, once the geek gets the date, does someone tell them where to put their wee-wee when the time comes?
We're thinking about having an expert on the site for those questions.
No.
But I don't know if that's really appropriate at this time. Most geeks know where to put it. They've been thinking about it a long time.
You're darn right.
Yeah, of course.
They carry a diagram in their wallet with them.
They're kind of very, very good at it.
So are you actively promoting this website? Do you go to Star Trek conventions and say, Geeks Unite, there's finally a chance to meet women and stuff like that?
Yeah, we do. We go around and we hand out T-shirts and cards, anybody who's interested. But it kind of exploded on its own. We got this phone call out of the blue from ABC World News Tonight with Charles Gibson, and they came to our house.
Oh!
And they filmed us for 4 hours in our geek space.
No kidding.
Did you have to tell your brother to get the hell out of the way so you could get on TV?
No, at that moment he was an asset.
Oh, I thought for sure he walked through half nude, dressed as Orko from He-Man or something like that. Why don't that guy have pants on? It's a suit.
It's his thing.
That's what he did.
In your brother's description, does it say he needs a woman who can wash crusty socks?
No. I don't let him troll the site. I don't think it'd be very appropriate.
No,
Joyce,
probably not.
Okay, so you said your thing. You realized you were a nerd when you did the Spock endorses Crosby. What about for your husband? What was his recognition point, his flash point for nerddom?
Oh, he was a nerd in utero.
Oh, really?
He's a utero nerd?
Oh, yeah. He's an original IBM child. From his parents were on the founding level of IBM, and oh yeah.
Oh, so they got cash.
No. Unfortunately, no.
No, not that level.
Oh, okay.
I
was going
No,
to
they're
say,
the ones who made it happen, but didn't get anything for it. But they're all uber geniuses. I remember the first time I met his family, somebody actually made a joke about pi, like as in pie, not
like the number pi.
the number pi. Yeah.
Oh,
and I remember at that time I thought, wow, I thought I was a nerd.
No kidding. They go to you for advice on anything like fashion or
They do.
Like for social advice.
Now there's of course you're focusing on geeks who are very, very bright and they dress the part of and act like nerds and have nerd senses of humor. But are there some that just aren't smart? Like is your brother like that?
There's different types of intelligence, and we try not to judge.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, though. There's a few that are just dim bulbs, isn't there?
No, I've never seen that.
Stacy, or Joyce rather, what is the biggest nerd thing that someone has listed as an interest on the website? Can you say?
Oh, gosh.
Like, what is there something that even you guys looked at it and went, oh my God, that's not even funny, nerd. That's ridiculous.
No, we would never do that because everything makes perfect sense to us when we're on our own website. It's like,
Good answer. You sound like a smart business owner.
Yep.
Can we have a password so that we can go on there and judge?
No.
Oh, come on. We want to see some nerds.
No, it's a bully-free zone. Cool guys like
you know what?
If
it comes to nerds, I say yes to bullies.
But the thing is, we're all nerds. That's the thing.
I don't know. You come off pretty cool. I don't know.
Well, now.
No, that's only in your opinion, not in the regular world opinion.
Yeah, right.
It's at radio camp.
Yeah, we're always the ones that are just stuck there talking amongst ourselves.
I think they're right. I think that we are nerds, but we try not to give off the impression by appearances, I guess.
Yeah, we haven't come to grips with it.
We'll admit it, but we're still pretending. It's sort of a half and half.
See, you would go on and give people like virtual swirlies and wedgies, and that wouldn't be good.
No, because giving those would inherently make us nerdy, and I don't want to stoop to that level.
Yeah, it would. Way, you're right.
You've got the perfect business model because you've got a site that is designed to cater to the people who are most likely to spread the word on chat boards and make it viral on the internet. It's perfect. It's brilliant.
Exactly. Well, and also we want to do something we actually live. I hate sites that are done by like 65-year-old entrepreneurs who wanted to tap a niche. That's not a genuine site. So people and nerds and geeks, they'll smell you if you're a fake.
Let me ask you this, because having this conversation, and I just saw something that Zane scrolled past on your website, reminded me of something that was previously the nerdiest thing I had ever seen, and that was last week on ABC's iCaught. They talked to is there a website called Second Life?
Yes.
Joyce, and that's and I think we've referenced it on the air before, where people can go and they can create a persona, and they might go to church or they might go to movies, and you can make your character fly. Some people, like a man, might create a woman who is their online persona.
Oh, so that's like you do the avatar thing.
Yeah.
And they talked to people who got married in Second Life world. They're married in real life, but their actual marriage took place on computers, and all of the guests were on computers, and they watched, and then they'll get together and go on Second Life dates. Ugh. It was the most depressing thing I've ever seen.
That's the most awesome thing I've ever heard of.
No,
you animal.
No, that's crazy. So you're telling me that, like, it would be like if I created a character and my real wife created a character, and then we went into virtual land and got married there?
And you were also married in real life, and then you would go on dates together as a married couple. But you would do that while you sat in your oversized chair with a hole cut out for dumps, and she sat in a tube top 2 feet away from each other.
I'd rather go to the movies with my actual wife who has flash and turns me on.
I think it's more effective for people who really don't know each other and they want to meet. I don't know too many people are sitting side by side on Second
Life. That's a little
Pretty
weird.
bizarre.
That's kind of going out of your way there. But
so Joyce, you're into all things geek. You've got a tremendous amount of brain power. And being the computer tie-in to nerds, as always, what about that apparatus where a guy can stick his joint And wait a minute, let me finish before you tee off.
Okay.
Into that contraption, and then he can like do it online with his significant other. So like you would have a device on your end, and he would have his device, and together you would manipulate each other.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, have you guys heard? Joe, have you heard of this?
Yeah, like the virtual sex type deal, where it's actually a mechanism that you.
You see, I know you'd be into that, Joyce. Don't act like you're not.
Can you sell them on your website?
Well, it's not a bad idea. I'll look into it.
Yeah, you should definitely look into it.
Joyce Dale, she is the president of SweetOnGeeks.com. If you are a geek or a nerd, you know it. You can go to this website, and it can help hook people up. Are they spread out all over the country, the 7,000?
Yeah, in over 60 different countries.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And plus, nerds don't need to travel. They can just go through the Internet in Second Life, like we talked about.
Yeah, you bunch of nerds.
Joyce, you're a lot of fun. Best of luck with the business venture. I hope you get rich off it, and you can buy lots of Star Trek stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Way to go, nerd.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey, look! Sergeant Dork!
I do think they're onto something. It will be niche, but a good niche to have.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
I wonder how they're doing.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a geek, so I haven't followed up on it.
I'm sure it's going great.
You think so?
No. No, not at all. They're on to the next dumb idea.
Hot Wings, I see that you sent the
next dumb idea.
It's like let's go by the Cubbies.com.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah.
Hot Wings, you sent me that link for that iPhone app that we talked about just not too long ago. The Lick Your iPhone. Again, the quick background as to what it is.
The quick background on that, I found it in, of course, the iPhone has a billion different apps. This one, you download this app, and you can download images of food, like an ice cream cone, and then you lick your iPhone, and the food disappears where you've licked it.
It's called the first ever iPhone game you can play with your tongue.
That is
and
awful.
It's disgusting, and it has. And there's a demo. This is the demo, and you will hear the grossest noises ever.
Plate of spaghetti, it looks like, of some type. Go, it says.
Ugh.
That's the noise that the phone makes when you lick it. I heard that noise just last night.
And then it cheers when you finish licking the phone.
He did it in 12 seconds, the kid did.
Now, the thing is...
It says, wow, you can lick like crazy.
Show Fortuna.
There's two things about this. One, a normal person could probably do the whole thing in one lick. The other is that you're licking your phone.
Bite me or gulp it.
And who would do that?
Yeah, I don't want to lick my phone.
It's filthy. It's full of germs. Who
No,
would lick
I mean,
their
you
phone?
take your phone into the bathroom with you, and God knows wherever else.
You put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It touches money, and it's covered in God knows what.
Oh, what a fiasco.
Did you say, you may have said how much that one cost?
I don't know.
Can't be free.
I don't know if it is or not. I have no idea
Even
what
if
the
it
cost is on that.
Who would want it?
Just one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. One of the worst apps for the iPhone.
In 2015, when our iPhone app is done, we should build something into that that is half deviant, like this. You know, that way it would appeal to a more broad audience. It would appeal to those who want to listen to our show on the run in 6 years, and it would also appeal to those who like to lick their phone or rub it on their crotch.
Now,
something like that.
I know that there's no way there can be an iVag like we talked about, and you could do that same type of endeavor like in the food one.
Why couldn't there be?
Because Apple has to approve these.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
That's the key.
Didn't think of that.
It isn't like you just like it's the Wild West. You just throw it up.
Maybe
like
call
internet.
it. Maybe call it I roast beef then, and convince them that you're
it still
trying
looks,
to lick the cheese off of Big Montana.
You know, it's only a matter of time though before people manage to override these past Apple, and you get like iJack and whatever else.
Yeah.
You know, you just thrust the phone up and down in your hand, and it makes noises like that.
You know that happens.
You know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it'd be this noise.
Yep.
You can check our
That's
website,
it.
freebeerandhotwigs.com. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wigs Show. To the woman that took a dump in my car. We met on Craigslist, so I am hoping that this post finds you. At some point in life, everyone has gambled on a fart and lost.
Gambled on a fart.
Mm-hmm. It just happened to be that you did it on a first date in the passenger seat of my car.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
It says here we should work in teams. Who wants to be my spotter?
I don't think you should be doing too much gambling tonight, Alan.
Gambling? Who said anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
While it is true that it does happen to everyone, first date in a car, bad timing. What do you think, Zink?
Here's what I think of that.
You would have proposed marriage at that point.
Yeah. You're probably horny right now.
No, I'm actually mortified because I've had that happen to me.
When you were on a date with a man?
All alone. Wearing white pants.
What man was wearing white pants?
What was it, Jack Tripper night?
Yeah, dude. No kidding. Just trying to find an ottoman to tip over.
Everyone could see your thong through it.
Yeah, white pants.
It's a good thing you took a dump in them. They'd still be in rotation.
No kidding.
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Counting cards is a foolproof system.
It's also illegal.
It's not illegal. It's frowned upon, like masturbating on an airplane.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal, too.
Yeah, maybe after 9/11, where everybody got so sensitive. Thanks a lot, Bin Laden.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
I actually just said to Joe, is this when we go, Joe? This is the first time we're hearing it. I'm like, is there something else coming after Kenny Rogers?
Joe.
Yeah, or do we just let this go?
Thanks, Joe.
What?
Thanks, Joe.
What is that?
That's your mother saying thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
That'll be great. Now every time Joe says, wow, hot.
Thanks, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it seems I missed anal. But it seems I missed anal.
Wow, hot.
That's unfortunate, Joe.
I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty, Mama.
Thanks, Joe. But it seems I missed anal.
Doesn't sound like an edit.
It doesn't.
Seems like I'm
Anal. But it seems I missed anal.
1-800-947-3979. It is the I Can't Wait to Talk About Blank segment.
No.
You can get in line
Joe.
right now at 1-800-947-3979.
Oh, God.
You can also email the show anytime you want, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. And check out the website, freebeerandhotwings.com.
Thanks, Joe.
About 36 minutes from now, is there a TV show that you used to love that now you wish would die? We'll have a chance for you to jump in on that. Also paired with an idiot before that. Chance for you to get qualified for the refurbished laptop from thirdorb.com.
Joe wanted me to play this next time his mom called, and I did not want to do that.
Shut your mouth, you stupid bitch.
And I said, no, Joe, I'm not doing that.
Aw. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Could be worse. It could say open wider.
That would be worse.
Thanks, Joe.
Shut your mouth, you stupid bitch.
So devastating. Oh, God. Freebeer, you were about to say something else.
Nope.
Oh, it's hard to follow up after that crazy insult.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, you were saying.
I wasn't. I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, you weren't saying anything? I thought you had a
No,
direction
that's why
you
when
wanted to
Hot
go.
Wings said you were saying, and I said nope.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I actually thought you started to address me.
Nope.
Okay.
I see.
But, all right. Well, Hot Wings, it's on you. Go ahead. Got anything?
Great. No, not unless spending an entire day doing baby-related stuff is interesting for anybody.
Do you find your life as completely different in a way that makes you frustrated that you don't do the things you used to do?
Yes.
It really does?
Yes. I mean, the things that I'm doing now are enjoyable in their own way. Especially now, 'cause in fact today we're taking him to the pediatrician for his 2-month checkup. I mean, it's been 2 months. It's been 9 weeks as of yesterday, which is absurd how fast time goes. And now he's at a stage where he's really starting to recognize things. Particularly Carrie and myself when we come in, and he's starting to smile and make those cute baby noises that babies make, and so he's fun. You can actually kind of play with him now. You end up sounding like an idiot where you're going hi, but he starts to respond to that, and you see his eyes light up, and he starts to smile, and it's really fun, and you can spend like an hour doing that. But then when he's kind of tired of that. And you're kind of tiring of doing that, but he still doesn't want to sleep. He still wants you to be around, so you're kind of handcuffed to, you go, God, I really could mow the lawn, but Carrie's at the store and I can't, jeez. And so you just find yourself kind of hanging out, just going, now what? Now what do I do? Because he doesn't want to be entertained anymore, but I can't leave.
Maybe he would be very soothed by a ride on the lawnmower.
I actually told Carrie that I'm gonna put him one of them baby Bjorn things and mow the lawn with him on my chest.
I'll bet people have done that.
Probably. I would only be concerned with the noise though, because my lawnmower is really loud.
Something comes flying out and hit him right in the face, and then he's gonna be disfigured if there's some crazy accident. Shooting out of the bottom of the mower, hits a tree, comes back.
Well, that would be a crazy accident because that has never happened to me.
Well, you never know. I mean, who would want to risk that? But I want to mow. In fact, they often say don't even mow the lawn when the kid is nearby.
That's true.
Anyway.
I would be less likely to mow with him off the mower than on, actually, because of things flying from the side, but not actually hitting me on the seat. But the noise level alone, my lawnmower is. I mean, all riding lawnmowers are loud. But mine is 20 years old, so it's super loud. It's like they didn't even bother in 1989 to put a muffler on the thing. It's just like straight. It just. So I get done, and my ears are ringing from using my own lawnmower. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. Maybe next year he'll be ready to start mowing the lawn.
Now something's going to shoot out of the side of one of our mowers and bounce off a tree.
It's actually
seems so unlikely, but it's happened to people.
It's actually going to happen to me next time I mow the lawn now, and I'm going to have to come in and the white part of my eye will actually be red with blood. What happened? Zane was right. I was mowing the lawn, and a rock bounced off another rock and hit me in the eye.
Well, what's key is you're all set, though, because at the time that your kid gets to be about the age of my kids now, when you're approaching your advanced years, you will.
It's true.
They will not. You won't have to mow the lawn anymore.
I'll really be at a stage where I don't want to mow anymore. When I'm 50.
I haven't mowed the lawn in 2 years now. 2 consecutive summers I have not mowed, and I am very proud of that.
Yeah, I think I started probably about when your son did. I started mowing the lawn when I was about 12.
Yeah,
something like that.
Get out there and earn your keep.
And at the time, though, I thought it was cool. Like I couldn't wait. Because it was a motorized. You were like on a vehicle. I go, This is great. And I'm out there mowing. I'm like a big person. I'm an adult. And then about, I don't know, the 5th or 6th time you're out there mowing the lawn, about an hour in, you go, this is pretty boring.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying this. I could be riding my bike, playing Army or something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, you just want to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all cool to be an adult until you get to do it for a couple times, and then it's no fun anymore.
I had because my wife and I obviously do not have children, nor any on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my wife's birthday today. And the last 5 years, we've flown her mom in for her birthday, sort of as a supplemental birthday present. It's kind of a gift to her mom.
Yeah.
It's a chance for them to be together.
Everyone
anytime
wins.
they get to visit. Yeah. And it's nice for my wife to have her mom there for her birthday. And her mom said something, and then her mom and I were talking, and her mom said, I think I'd like to come visit earlier in the year, because a lot of times when she visits, the weather's it can be really nice, but it also has been kind of crappy. And she said, my daughter's turning 37. She probably doesn't need her mom on her birthday anymore. And about an hour later, I was mowing the lawn. And you know how, as we've talked before, you not only have lawnmower conversations where you get in fights, you start running through scenarios in your head that really are nonsense. Well, not nonsense, but I thought, well, let's see. If my wife and I got pregnant today, I would be 37 when that child was born.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically speaking, and then it popped into my head about my mother-in-law saying that, and I went, whoa, Statistically speaking, it is unlikely that I would see my child's 37th birthday. And that hurt a little bit. And then I went, well, that's what happens when you decide not to have children when you're 25. and then put it off for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
It wouldn't be impossible to see my child's 37th birthday. Obviously. I'd be 74.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, at this point, you'd be pretty likely to see that.
I don't know. I'd eat a lot of
maybe not
foods.
You, average person.
So,
I guess.
You know, what are you gonna do?
Guys, yesterday on the show, we had a moment where Frank called in, and we made him repeat stuff. And this is how that went.
Hold on. How long is that?
It's 3 minutes.
It's going to be too long.
All right. Okay.
But it is a great example of our theory that we started probably about 10 days ago. We said from now on when people call into the show, and if they voluntarily repeat part of their story, even though it's clear that everyone has a comprehension of what we're talking about, that we are then going to take that cue and try to get them to repeat portions of their story as many times as possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll share this with you because this is the best example of that happening.
Yeah, this was really good. Everybody jumped in.
We'll have to get this in sometime before too long.
We'll share that at the beginning of the next segment, right before we play Paired with an Idiot. If you want to be a contestant for that, you can do it at 1-800-947-3979. That is next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hotwig Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
I'm looking to study and majoring in communications, hopefully being a broadcaster or a disc jockey.
Before we get to Paired with an Idiot, which happens in a moment, about 30 minutes away from what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings, what's your topic today?
Miley Cyrus quitting Twitter.
This was a surprisingly big deal.
Yeah, kind of shockingly.
That's probably part of what you're talking about.
Yep,
I'll
pretty
guess.
much. Yep.
TV shows that need to go away, TV shows that were once popular. This starts with a list by, I can't remember which website it is, but they have a list of TV shows that, quote, need to die. Some of them I still like.
Yeah.
A lot of them I agree with their opinion. We'll get yours as well. But before we get to Paired with an Idiot, we wanted to share the quintessential example of our new trick, which hopefully a lot of the audience is in on so they know when it's happening. And based on the emails when this happened yesterday, I think the audience is in on it. And that is our theory that if someone repeats part of their story voluntarily, we are then going to encourage them to repeat key details of their story over and over again as many times as we can.
I pulled this audio, but I forget what we were talking about.
We're talking about bad wedding poker. People were trying to one-up each other on their bad wedding stories. And Frank from New Jersey called. Let's try Frank. Hi, Frank.
Frank. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, Frank, what's your lie? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm at my cousin's wedding in Southwest Florida, and there was a lot of people there who were in the, how shall we say, covert agricultural trade.
Okay.
And about halfway through the reception, everybody's dancing, and we start seeing these guys in suits walk around outside the place, and we're like, oh, hell, what's going to happen? Sure enough, they came in like friggin' gangbusters, just like on The Sopranos. There was only the best man left, 3 of the groomsmen, and a couple of their girlfriends got hauled away at gunpoint in the wedding.
There was a drug bust at this wedding?
Yeah, they hauled almost half the wedding party away with friggin' SWAT teams and dogs and the whole 9 yards. And
all right,
they continued the reception.
Wow, I guess the show must go on.
Why not?
So when they were there, did they take anyone away, or what happened?
They took the 3 groomsmen, 2 of the bridesmaids, who was the girlfriends and I guess accomplices.
Yeah.
And then the dogs were walking around the room, and of course everybody's friggin', I suddenly have to go to the bathroom.
What was how was the SWAT team or like the people there? How were they dressed?
It's in friggin' like full CSI type friggin'
No kidding.
SWAT.
And so then when they busted them, did they do it politely or did they do it with force?
Half and half. The grooms were like, you can't do this at my wedding, and it's like, we have guns and dogs.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we
listen,
want.
did they take anybody away though?
Oh yeah, the 3 groomsmen and the 2 bridesmaids.
Oh my gosh.
In handcuffs.
Your turn. Okay.
Police van and everything. Out the back of the reception.
Hang on a second.
Once they took them away, did the reception continue?
Yeah, we were like, well, the place is paid for. We got it for like 3 more hours. Let's party.
How many people were left? Like in the wedding party.
There's probably about maybe 50, 80 people to start with.
It's my turn. How come the cops were there? What were they so intent on busting them about? What were they accused of doing?
Well, as I mentioned, the agricultural trade.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
What, you're like corn?
What's that?
Like corn or?
No. Leafy green substances of which they have acres and acres and acres.
Well, how many of the wedding party were taken away?
The wedding party, 3 groomsmen, 2 bridesmaids.
That is
Holy
something.
cow.
Thank you,
Oh
Frank.
my God! I wish you had told us that.
Christ.
For the record, that's the new clubhouse leader for getting someone to retell the same story the most times.
That's my new favorite.
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
I really, as we go back to real time, I believe it only stopped because we stopped.
God, the fact that we got him to tell that story over and over and over again for like 2.5 minutes when it was a 15-second story.
2 minutes, 56 seconds, clubhouse leader. I have it written down.
Yeah, that is amazing. He was a big fan of the word friggin', too.
It was.
Yeah, well, man.
Yeah, we really used that a lot.
Oh, no.
1-800-947-3979. Meanwhile, paired with an idiot. Ted in New York. Welcome. Hi, Ted. Ted? Ted?
Jeff?
Jeff is here. Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Ted, you're not there? Oh. Would you guys get us another one? I see line 1 is ringing. That person must want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Paired with an idiot. You have a chance to join us for this game. Zane has made the list. Hot Wings and I will take each other on. 1-800-947-3979. If you win, you get qualified to win the refurbished laptop from thirdorb.com. Bob in New Hampshire, you are our stand-in contestant. Welcome, Bob.
Hey, thanks.
All right, game very similar to $25,000 Pyramid. Zane has created 2 lists. We will team up with the listeners. That's about it, Zane.
All right. Now, Jeff, you got in first. So who do you want on your team, Free Beer or Hot Wings?
Let's go with Free Beer.
Okay. Hot Wings and Bob. Bob, by random number choosing, pick the list, 1 or 2?
2.
You want 2. All right. Okay. Bob, you and Hot Wings will just sit back for a minute. Hot Wings, here is a copy of the list that Free Beer and Jeff will be going over in Paired with an Idiot.
Okay.
60 seconds. Jeff, you are the only one that can pass.
Okay.
And Hot Wings ready with a timer?
Yeah.
The subject matter on this list of 10 things, objects that head-freezing lab employees hit Ted Williams' melon with. Again, objects that head-freezing lab employees hit Ted Williams' melon with. On your mark, get set, begin.
All right, Jeff, this is what you would pour your Java in the morning. It has a little handle.
Cup.
What kind of cup?
Mug. Coffee mug.
Yeah, that's work. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This is something you would use to cut a piece of wood. It's by hand.
Saw.
What kind of saw?
Hacksaw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is the joint between your forearm and your shoulder, which allows your arm to move.
Elbow.
Yeah.
You put this on your foot, not a shoe, but it's taller. And it's a cowboy blank.
Boot.
Yes.
You get this when you win a Little League championship or a bowling league. It's
Trophy.
Yeah.
this is something that, metaphorically speaking, it would be thrown into a plan and ruin everything.
Monkey wrench.
Yes, I can't believe you got that. Off a terrible clue. Plumbers lay this all the time. It carries.
Yes.
You use this to beat a nail in.
Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Time.
Thank you for getting monkey wrench on the worst description ever.
I don't know. It sounded good to me.
Yeah, it certainly worked.
Metaphorically threw this in to wreck it. I mean, hell, it's better than wasting time on. This is a tool that.
Yeah, because my secondary plan was to say, all right, it's a name for a primate, and then you got all sorts of chimpanzee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys got 8.
Nice job, Jeff.
Okay,
all right,
now,
Bob.
Hot Wings and Bob. Jeff, you sit tight. Bob, Hot Wings again. You know the rules. We're doing this for you, and the same rules apply. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, 60 seconds. The subject matter is activities that now disgusted and disgruntled fans of the 0-5 Tennessee Titans are doing instead of caring about their winless football team.
Okay, so activities.
Activities that now disgusted fans of the 0-5 Tennessee Titans are doing instead of caring about their winless football team. And everybody's surprised at that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
On your mark, Get set. Begin.
When you go to a bar, you might go smoking and...
Drinking.
Yes. You go to a casino for...
Gambling.
Yes. This is a video game where you pick up an axe and you would play like a Slash.
Slash.
Or
Guitar Hero.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
Yep.
If you're not playing, you're
Not working?
Yeah. This is a word for this is a phrase for sex, but it's nicer. Like you're gonna
screw.
No,
that's not nice.
No, that's not nice.
Sorry.
A song called a song. Listen, song. I feel like
making love.
There you go. Not drinking, but when for dinner, not drinking, but
eating.
Yeah, there you go. You would go to Joe Louis Arena to watch the Red Wings.
Hockey.
Yes, hockey. What? What are you doing?
Hockey, spectating.
Time. I'm trying to help him along. So frustrating.
Hockey spectating. That's how people
Let's
say
do
it.
some spectating.
That one's very difficult.
Yeah,
to
that's
get.
watching
That
hockey
sucked.
is
Yeah, that was your Achilles right there, man. Making love slowed you down.
That was a killer. That was a killer.
A nice phrase for sex. Screw.
Let's try to keep it clean.
Boink.
Bob and Jeff, thank you for playing. Jeff gets the win. Thank you, Jeff.
All right.
Penetrate.
Hey, baby.
Pin a lady down.
Oh, man. What a bummer. We were off to a good start, but yeah, making love was not good. When a good phrase for sex. Screw.
That moment right there is why this game continues to make it on the schedule.
Oh, my
God. For answers like that. A nice word for sex. Screw.
Jeez.
In a moment, TV shows that need to die. We'll get to what Hot Wings thinks as well. And then just after the top of the hour, where have you found Jesus? A lady in South Carolina found Jesus in her curtains. You'll hear her story coming up. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Well, Joe's mom joins us. Hi, Patty.
Hi.
Hi, Mom.
How are you?
What is more?
Nice imitation of my voice.
What?
It's actually accurate. Thanks, Joe.
What is more offensive, the imitations or the things that Joe writes? 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. That conversation took place yesterday. Joe, did you talk to your mom after that?
I did, yeah. Not about that, though.
Does she ever, because obviously it's not our goal to actually hurt your mom's feelings.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened, has it?
Nope.
You'd tell us if it did.
I would.
Okay. Does she ever reference it?
Joe, don't tell me.
I won't.
You wouldn't really tell us?
No.
No, hell no.
No.
He doesn't want you to stop.
No.
I don't want to stop. I wouldn't even believe it myself.
What if your mom started crying while she was talking to you?
Oh, yeah, that might do it.
That wouldn't happen. She's not a puss.
Tough lady, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You think about it for a second. Nope, just wouldn't happen.
All the tears were smashed out of her long ago.
Oh, my gosh.
She is hardened.
By life?
Yeah, by life.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. So this a website, Pop Watchers, has a list of TV shows that they used to love that they now want to go away. And each of them is submitted by a different quote-unquote member of this website.
I bet you one of them's Lost.
Okay.
I don't think Lost is on this list. They have 20 of them, and in fact, it's not.
I can't wait for that to end.
Yeah, I can think of a few. That's one of them. It's gotten to the point where it's just so convoluted to me that I've lost a bit of interest. I'll still watch it.
Oh, I will too.
But,
I'm invested, man.
But it's just kind of, there's almost too many weird little things going on, and the time jumps got kind of confusing.
Well, and now the way it ended, with them supposedly destroying the island, blowing up the hatch or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Not the hatch, but whatever it was called. Well, it was the hatch. They were building the hatch.
Yeah.
With them doing that, in theory, it could be starting from scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they'll find some way to make it work, but Zane's right. If it weren't for the time commitment of actually, at this point, I've invested 5 or 6 seasons of whatever it is into watching it.
Yeah,
I want to know what they do now, even if I hate it.
This year, I expect the Harlem Globetrotters to show up, or robots.
Yeah, they're going to turn this into a resort. Yep, it'll be Gilligan's Island.
What if they did? What if they just gave America, the people that still watch, the 12 or 13 million people, they just gave those 13 million people the finger?
Today on Lost.
Or they just reunited the castaways from Lost with the remaining living members of the TV show Gilligan's Island, however many there are.
The very final episode, Bob Newhart wakes up and says, I had the craziest dream.
Yeah. Oh, how ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say that one, and Heroes would be quite high on the list.
Is their very first one on the list. Now, I remember when that show came out. We talked about it a lot on this show, and it was kind of different when it started.
It was very intriguing. I enjoyed it. I like science fiction. I really do, and and I liked that. And the thing is, I still watch it from time to time because it's like a time waster, but I'm not into it. You know what I mean? It's like I'll watch it and I don't hate it, but I don't enjoy it. Like I never come to work and go, oh, I was watching Heroes, and I know you guys aren't into it, but man, yesterday's episode was awesome.
Right.
But I also wouldn't come in and go, oh, that was the worst. It's just kind of there. It's just sort of dumb.
A TV show we all used to watch, or a lot of us used to watch, is that exact same thing for me, Hot Wings. I watch it because it's better than most of the other programming that I would normally turn on during lunch.
Yeah.
But I don't really like it, is Entourage.
Yeah.
That show, it actually, whereas you said Heroes, you don't hate it, Entourage actually makes me a little bit mad. Because I actually want bad things to happen to the characters, and in the end, they always sew it all up, and, oh, it's a great coincidence. Now everybody's got great jobs, they're super wealthy, and they're banging the hottest chicks, even though they're all worthless idiots.
Yeah.
You can join us toll-free, 1-800-947-3979 with the show that you would put on this list. Some of the other ones they have. Before we get to theirs, Joe, do you have any?
After the last episode of The Office, that might go on my list now.
They have The Office on there. You didn't like the wedding episode with Pam and Jim?
It was terrible.
I'm getting close to that one. I'm catching up right now. I'm not there yet.
Steve is plugging his ears. You haven't seen it, Steve?
No, I haven't watched it.
Pam and Jim are dating.
Yeah.
They're dating.
There was a wedding episode. It was on TV.
I'm with you, Joe. I thought that kind of sucked.
It did, the whole episode.
They should not do hour-long episodes. It seems like whenever they've done hour-long episodes on The Office, they stretch for jokes that are ridiculous. Like, for example, in that latest episode, and this isn't a plot-related point. It's a minor subplot. Kevin having his shoes destroyed by the hotel and then wearing Kleenex boxes to the reception. That was below that show as far as
it's actually too stupid.
It was too stupid.
Yeah, it's actually too stupid. It's not weird, and I don't mind hour-long episodes of The Office if they're going to focus on Michael or Dwight or one of the other. But Pam and Jim isn't. It's not a funny storyline. That's kind of the feel-good storyline for the ladies. The rest of it is for the dudes.
Right. And I actually thought it was kind of stupid the way they got married.
It was a little silly.
The whole thing was really, really stupid. Now, I'll still watch the show, but I did find myself sitting there during that hour of that program thinking to myself, this is not what it used to be.
Yeah. I want them to save it. I want them to just quit now so I can just have good memories of it being an awesome show.
They actually say the same characters doing the same stuff again and again and again. We get it already. Michael Scott is a buffoon. There hasn't been a single addition to the cast since Ed Helms, at least not that I've noticed. Now, I don't think a show is defined as being good if you keep adding to the cast. That's usually a bad sign.
No, my favorite parts of that show are all the tertiary characters.
Yes.
When I don't care what the plot is. I enjoy it when Creed comes in for 10 seconds and says something completely out of left field.
Right.
And then goes away. Those are my favorite parts of that show.
Even in the opening sequence on that show last week, when everybody in the office, it was like that moment in Stand By Me, and we referenced it yesterday on the show, when one person barfs and then everybody else starts barfing.
Yeah.
And so in the opening sequence, everyone of that show is barfing, and this guy Creed Hot Wings is referring to, if you've never seen the show, is sitting next to people barfing, eating cereal, and with a look on his face like, what's everybody's problem?
Yeah, he's just oblivious to the barfing.
Other shows on this list.
Dollhouse, don't know what that is.
I watched 5 seconds of that just before the news started the other day.
I only know that it stars some chick named Eliza Dushku.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
Yeah, and that's, but I don't, no, that was Elisha Cuthbert.
Yeah, there's, it's weird, I know that, and I hit the info button and it described it, and somebody about them becoming dolls.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either. I know that it's, I guess it's doing moderately okay.
Yeah,
it got renewed.
Yeah.
But.
Mm-hmm. This is Jim in New Jersey. This one's not on their list, but I think it'll be on a lot of people's list. Jim, which show for you needs to die and go away?
The Simpsons. It's done.
I disagree.
Really? You still like it, Zane?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I like parts of it. I don't enjoy it like I used to. It's not programmed in watching for me anymore, but I still find it entertaining. I mean, I don't hate it.
It had a good run for me, 15 years of I gotta see it. I mean, it started out being recorded on my VCR while I was at high school basketball practice.
Hey, head like this bookie book.
And made it into my 30s. That's a pretty good run for any TV show.
Called parenting.
It is pretty amazing.
Don't you like being a dude?
But it is, sometimes it's a bit crusty.
And that criticism they had of The Office is often a criticism leveled at The Simpsons, and that is, okay, we get it, same characters doing the same things over and over. Well, that's going to be the case for any TV show that's on long enough.
Yeah, I mean...
Because you have to stay within the character of what that character is. You can't all of a sudden... Well, The Simpsons actually has more leeway than a show like The Office, because Homer can become a NASA astronaut and then a singer in a doo-wop group.
Plus, they have about 1,000 characters on that show. I mean, there are a lot. There's obviously your core ones, but there's a lot of side characters on that.
I love The Office. Don't want it ever to go because of drops.
You are going to be sleeping by yourself for the rest of your life, so you should just get used to it. She would be considered a whore.
Now, those actually were 2 moments from that last episode of The Office, which actually were funny.
Yeah.
How mean Michael is to Office Human Resources Manager Toby.
Oh, my God.
Is so ridiculous.
That they have this crazy, like, he hates Toby, and you never have ever really found out why he hates Toby so much. It's just this burning hatred.
That clip of him saying, you're going to be sleeping alone. Michael doesn't have a room as they go to Niagara for this hotel, and he's begging everyone for a room, and Toby voluntarily walks up to him and says, Michael, I have 2 queen-size beds.
Yeah, I have an extra bed in my room.
You are going to be sleeping by yourself for the rest of your life, so you should just get used to it.
And the look on Toby's face is always like,
God dang it.
I like that episode
he tries
when
so hard.
Toby and Dwight were trying to bust Daryl for faking his injury, and they pull up at his house, and Daryl's sister is dressed just like him and is as big as him, and she's carrying a bag of dog food obscuring her head. And Toby goes, "Hey, you a-hole! You're going to eat all that, you fat slob!" And then it's Daryl's sister.
And then they speed off, and he rams into the dash. And see, it's moments like that, like where I still go, no, I still love that show.
Yeah, it's still funny.
Just occasionally they have an episode like the wedding episode, and I think maybe because of the hype too.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of hype around it.
Happy birthday, Jesus. Sorry your party's so lame.
Let's do this thing.
Charles in West Michigan. Hi, Charles. You actually have an example of a show that a lot of us, when it came on, we said, how can they make this last? What show?
Prison Break.
Prison Break. Because it didn't at the end of the first season, didn't they in fact break out of prison?
Yeah, pretty much. They held it off, I think, till the beginning of the second season, and then after that, it kind of went downhill from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then where do you go? I mean, you can only do a show about guys on the run for so long.
Yeah,
I mean, prison, Vic. It's the Fudgebacker.
I think they got put back in prison on the second season in a different prison.
And now it's just silly.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of my problem with Heroes. The whole first season, I found it to be very good. The battle between the good and the evil, and then their battle with that character Sylar, and then they defeated him in the not climactic final episode when they blew all their budget beforehand and had no special effects left. And it was kind of anticlimactic. And then the next season starts over, and lo and behold, he's fine, and now he's the villain again.
Yeah, at the end of that season, they had no money. They just said, all right, you go away. And he walked away in the sunset. That's all they did.
It would have been better.
A little strange.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Here's what Hot Wings thinks. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free Beer Zane and listeners, I'm more upset than Rush Limbaugh in a room full of third graders chanting the name of Barack Obama. Miley Cyrus has quit Twitter. Quit Twitter, guys. No more tweets from Miley Cyrus.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. Now what am I supposed to do when I want to feel connected to tweeners through the insipid tweets of a super precocious teenager who acts sweet but dresses like a skank? This is truly a dark day. It's like the Hiroshima of keeping up with the mundane goings-on of a millionaire teenage girl. So sad. Except, who cares? What will Miley's fans do now that she's not telling them that she's sitting by a pool or brushing her teeth or going shopping? Oh, I know. She'll find a whole new way to annoy everyone. She'll jump from Twitter to YouTube, where she'll star in a rap video she made to explain why she stopped tweeting. The rap video already has over 2 million views. Now, while I may not personally be drawn to the same artists that appeal to teens, I usually at least understand the appeal. Miley, though, I don't get. She has a voice like a man and seems stupid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
But to each his own. I just wish I could find a way to avoid her. It's hard, though. She's everywhere. She's the flu. Easy to come across, but you never want to. Every generation has dopey teen idols. It's just that they were never so annoyingly accessible. I can't even watch Fox News without seeing Miley Cyrus. Anyway, I don't care that Miley Cyrus has quit tweeting. Amazingly, her father does, though. He thinks it's a mistake. I think it's because he bangs her.
No. Oh, come on. They can hear this. They listen in Nashville. What the hell is your problem, you animal?
What I meant to say was because he wants to bang her. But I said bang her, and I guess it's because that's how I really feel.
It's all terrible.
As if the other one is better.
Well, wants to and does is, that is a little worse. But
way to go.
Whatever.
You were cute and cynical. Now you're just an a-hole.
Good luck with your apology alone.
Yeah. Seriously, I think Billy Ray does want to have sex with her.
Stop saying it.
It's terrible.
Just a personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's an observation. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show is next. With the Free Beer and Hot Wings show, have something interesting to say.
You got served. It's peanuts.
Or be a huge idiot.
Classic.
Got served. It's peanuts.
Really is classic.
It is. Thank you.
And a little bit later on, you can forego the coffee and dump out your energy drinks. Because Glamour Magazine has 5 tips for you to be filled with more energy.
Oh, good.
These are sort of like we talked about before, those body hacks kind of things, where ways of tricking your body into having more energy.
Joe, I saw in your bag one time that 5-hour energy that everybody seems to be promoting. What are the side effects of that? Has that ever been discussed or talked about? Have you heard anything?
Not really. You don't.
I heard that you're not supposed to do too many of those. In fact, it says in the bottle that you need to get used to drink half of the thing before.
Yeah, I know that they're running like TV commercials like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
those saying only drink half a bottle first and see how you react.
It's a massive supply of B vitamins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, B12 and caffeine, and a lot of caffeine, I think, in those things.
No, I thought that didn't have any caffeine.
It does.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought they talked about not having the crash.
You don't have a crash.
I think that's involved with sugar.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, you absolutely don't have a crash. I'm sure if you drink too many, your heart explodes.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing.
But don't most energy drinks actually say don't consume more than
Java.
Monster Java says on the side, don't have more than 3 in 24 hours.
It's the greatest. I'll say this. This is the endorsement for Monster Java. It's the greatest tasting thing I've ever drank. It makes you say things stupidly if you drink too many of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is delicious.
Oh my gosh! But you can't drink too many. It says right on it. Ah, boy. Too much bull semen that makes you crazy.
That's why I just have one a day. Because you get too much of that bull stuff, and then it's trouble. So we'll get to the 5 energy tips a little bit later on, and then about 36 minutes from now, Mike Tyson. Zane made a great point off the air. He said that never has a guy who's been convicted for rape had so many women feeling badly for him as what Mike Tyson did on Oprah yesterday.
My wife is so in his corner after watching that with me yesterday. Mike Tyson on Oprah Winfrey's show. Oh, boy.
Is her reasoning the same as what we've kind of talked about on the show, is that he's made horrible mistakes and he's done things that would label him a horrible person, but because of everything that happened in his life, it seems like he never had a chance. Is that kind of
absolutely
what you'd say?
That
the
is
sense
perfect. And it just so happens he was one of the greatest boxers ever.
He was, and we'll get into it later, but he was largely victimized by circumstance and people around him pretty much his whole life.
Yeah, a very simple guy who ended up being taken advantage of his whole stupid life.
We've been hearing parts of the clips off the air all morning. Zane saw the show yesterday. We'll all hear them together in about 36 minutes when we get to Mike Tyson.
This is something, man.
Also, an experimental segment just after the top of the hour when we'll allow only calls from black people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We'll explain. That's coming up because there are black listeners to the show, and we've had calls from black listeners before. But in this case, only calls from black people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's coming up in about an hour. Meanwhile, in this case, you hear about this from time to time where people will see. Is it an apparition? Is that the appropriate term?
No, not the
because that's a ghost,
term.
isn't it?
Yeah, that would be a little bit different.
Out of thin air, this would be
just an image, a likeness.
A likeness
of could be Mother Mary, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, those are usually the usual suspects that you see. The Virgin Mary and Jesus.
When was the last time we saw somebody who said, I see Allah? Or I see, what's the guy of Scientology?
L. Ron Hubbard.
I see L. Ron Hubbard.
He's in my potato.
Or just someone not religious at all. Like I see Vic Tayback.
Which tells me that since you don't see too many, you know how there's always a fresco of Jesus, you know?
I think there was a recent potato chip of Lincoln, if memory serves.
There was.
But other than that.
But, there's not
usually,
you don't see
Jesus
too many
and Mother Mary
paintings or L. Ron Hubbard paintings. I think if we get more of those into society, we'll see more Fritos with L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Or a la Pringles.
Yeah, because there was that Cheeto a while ago that supposedly looked like
Jesus.
It was called Cheesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
The Jesus-y Cheeto.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a story of a woman who, she'll never forget the day that Jesus came to live in her kitchen.
Right. Well, mention Bishopville to a lot of people, and they remember the Lizard Man sighting from 1988. Or they think of the annual Cotton Festival there.
Aye.
Well, tonight, they may have something new to remember the small Lee County town for. A woman there says Jesus is in her kitchen. Sort of. Our Michael Benning tonight with that story.
End of the news story.
I figured God got work for me to do, so this is what he's showing me.
It's a visitor Barbara Brame says she never imagined having.
I went to look and I see this picture. I'm like, wait a minute, who was that? Is that Jesus?
Hot. She'll never forget the June day she believes Jesus came into her kitchen.
Something just told me to look in the kitchen, and I sat and I looked in the kitchen. I looked at the window, and that's when I seen this image focus on my curtain. No.
I believe it's her waistline that tells her to look in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But she wasn't looking for Jesus' face unless it was in a cream pie.
Mm-hmm.
Fat bitch.
She's very heavy.
Yeah.
She is very heavy.
By the way, in the setup from that anchor, he might as well have said, this town is podunk and we all know it, by making references to the only two reasons people would remember that town, Lizard Man sighting and the annual Cotton Festival.
Oh. Man, all right, I want to see this Jesus in the curtains.
The mouth, see the little mustache, the chin, and his eyes right here.
Barbara swears the outline didn't always exist.
No, that wasn't on there before.
Wait, did you see it? Did you
yeah,
see?
I can see what she's
can?
looking at.
I'm with Zane. I cannot see it.
It helps because later in the story, like the more they showed it, the easier it got for me to go, oh, okay, now I know what they're looking at, so now I can see this, and I've already seen it, so I can see it. But
is this going to be like that trick on your eyes where the picture looks like an old woman or a young woman, and you can only see one until all of a sudden you go, oh, there it is!
All I see is a fat woman.
Well, maybe, but, this to me, when you see it, even if you decide you can make out a face, which, now I can see the face, and I understand why she goes, okay, yeah, it looks like maybe a guy with a mustache. Whatever. I go, but that could be anybody. What makes it Jesus? Because I grew up.
It could be John Lennon.
I'm not kidding. I grew up in our house, in one of our bathrooms, we had those old flat panel doors that you had in a ranch house in the 70s.
We had them too.
The hollow
Absolutely.
core, nothing to them.
Yeah.
And the wood grain pattern on the back, you could actually see 5 faces down the door. There was a guy that looked like Mr. Potato Head with a plunger on his head. There was a Jesus face. I'm not kidding. And there were a couple of others. And I never, ever, and no one else in my family ever thought to themselves, my God, it's divinity. There's Jesus in our door. It's just wood grain in the way it has. It's no different than seeing a pig in a cloud, man.
I think you need to read up on your Bible because a lot of people know that Simon Peter, one of the 12 disciples, looked like Mr. Potato Head with a plunger on his head.
Oh. Holy crap. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus.
What are you going to do when Jesus comes back and puts a boot up your ass?
By the way, I can see a cinnamon roll with glaze in this lady's shirt, but I don't think it's an image appearing magically.
Yep.
Focus on my curtain, nose, the mouth, see the little mustache?
Sounds like a clump.
The chin, and here's the eyes right here.
Barbara swears the outline didn't always exist.
No, that wasn't on there before. No,
just because I didn't see it means it wasn't there.
And immediately,
Man, that's all we need. More Mel Gibson Jesus mumbo jumbo.
This isn't just any regular face.
It shocked me. And then after that, and I realized, I said, you know what, God is in my home. And then I called different pastors and stuff, and they came out. And
they did? They charged me $5,000 for the visit.
Well, no, what? she's a recently ordained minister too, which I'm sure she got online, but nevertheless, her other minister friends came over to also marvel.
I'll make you some green bean casserole. Come on down.
It's in your home.
Barbara just recently became ordained as a minister. She sees this as a sign from God.
Maybe he's trying to tell me something. Maybe
get out of the house.
Yeah, get a new haircut.
Yeah, maybe eat less.
Jeez. I'm going to try to make this look like a wig.
She's not too worried people will think she's crazy.
All the thing I can say to them, you better stop thinking it's crazy and believe in God, because God is for real.
And with each morning,
he knows you're stupid.
The sun rises. This face continues to show up.
Every day. When I get up in the morning, I pray, and I come, I look at it, I say, thank you, Jesus.
It's a thankful heart that believes God can show up anywhere. In Bishopville, Michael Benning, News 19, WLTX.
Thank you for making me this stupid, but still being able to own a home.
The face to a large number of people.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
I want to send Joe there with an iron and an ironing board.
One of those steamers accidentally fall into it.
Baby?
Thinks Joe's the devil. Honestly, Zane, did you ever see the face in the curtain?
I never saw it once.
I can't see it, Hot Wings. You can see it clearly?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what she's looking at, and I can see where somebody who wanted to believe could say, well, it kind of looks like Jesus, but it kind of looks like anybody with a face to me. Just because you can see a face doesn't make it Jesus. Could be Travis Tritt for all I know.
It could be Travis Tritt. Brandon Flowers from The Killers. Jim Morrison.
Yeah, in the later stages. Yeah, sure. Why not?
All sorts of people.
Yeah.
If you love the Bible so much, why don't you marry him?
I mean, it looks like a random Allman Brother to me.
It could be one of the Moondogs, Spot or Rex from WWF.
Yeah, I just...
Rex. No, it can't be Spot. Only Rex.
1-800-947-3979 if you believe you have an image that appears. You really are right. What is amazing is every time somebody has this, it garners them immediate attention. This lady immediately got...
completely. All you have to do is say, Jesus is here. And
that's all you have to do.
Oh, gracious God, thank you so much.
It is really amazing.
Me in this water bottle.
Oh, gracious God, thank you so much.
I wonder if my grandmother, who now lives in the house that I grew up in, would allow me to come and steal her door, and then so I could take the door and contact local news authorities and go, ooh, it's a miracle. You've got to come cover this. Look I've got Jesus on my door.
Or you could just go there and call in the store. You don't have to take the door, right? Or
no. The door has to go with the
Well, I want it to be with
possession.
me, though. So that the local news media, because she lives quite a distance away, I wouldn't want them to have, I want it to be with me.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
then I could carry it
seems like a real
everywhere, and
pain
I could
in
be
the ass.
crazy Jesus door guy.
You
Go, look,
could take
Jesus
the
is on
door.
my door.
You're better off just going there, and then next time you visit her, then phoning it in, and they'll arrive.
Otwig just wants to have a gimmick like some of those guys at radio camp that wear a kilt every day or only wear throwback jerseys.
Yeah.
Otwig, you'll have a gimmick. You'll be guy carrying.
That'll be my thing.
Bathroom door.
Jesus door.
That's a great idea. 1-800-947-3979. Coming up in a moment. 5 ways for you to feel more energy. A lot of these you can do today. You could do them while you're listening. Pretty soon you'll have so much energy you'll be able to pull your own Jesus door off the bathroom.
No, this isn't going to be something stupid like sleep more, is it?
I can't say that one of them won't be sleep more, but some of them.
We got one out of the way.
Several of them are 100% legitimate. I don't think sleep was on there.
Okay, because that one, the only reason I say that is because that one's so obvious, and they always put it on the, and it's like, well, obviously, if you sleep more, you're going to feel better.
Sleep is not on there.
Okay, good. I want something different than sleep.
I don't think you'll have heard most of these. I don't think you'll have heard 4 of these. One of these I think you've probably heard before.
All right.
That's next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hotwig Show.
More sounds of the game with the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Johnson's in coverage, but Green cleans it off.
You could see we were looking at pictures of them trying to keep these balls warm the best that they can to try to help Forcier get a better grip.
Right there, Deion Grant came a long way on the blitz, and watch what happens. He gets swallowed up.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, maybe a little more than that, maybe 17 minutes. Mike Tyson was on Oprah. Wait till you hear some of the things he talked about. A very emotional Mike Tyson, as we've said before, maybe one of the most compelling sports figures of the last 25 years. For me, I can't think of anyone that I would have more interest in because of his crazy ups and downs and the things that he has been through.
Fascinating story.
They were promoting the DVD release of the documentary Tyson, and boy, did Oprah give it the endorsement, man. This thing is going to be massive based on that.
I've heard that it could win an Oscar for, they always give out an Oscar for the category of documentary. Typically Michael Moore wins, but I've heard this Tyson one.
The filmmaker was on there with them, and for just a brief moment he was in the audience. And she goes, "What'd you do?" He goes, "Well, I wasn't in his sight, and I would put the camera on him, and I would say, 'Mike, talk about prison.' And then he would go for about 45 minutes talking about prison. And there'd be long pauses and then whatever. Talk about Robin Givens. Talk about Customato. And that was it. And then he just had hours and hours of material. And then he would build a story around that. Piece of cake. Probably cost him $10 to make it.
Probably.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got to see that. I'm looking forward to hearing what Mike said yesterday on Oprah. Everybody wants more energy. That's constant battle. There's a reason that energy drinks and energy supplements are a billion-dollar industry. And you could turn to something like this.
Hey, do you want to feel so energetic? Try Power Thirst. Energy drinks for people who need gratuitous amounts of energy. With all new flavors like chocolate. Chocolate energy. It's like adding chocolate to an electrical store. Sound the alarm. You're going to be uncomfortably energetic. What's that? You want strawberry? Well, how about rawberry? Made with lightning. Real lightning. Sports. You'll be good at them. It's an energy drink for men. Energy. These aren't your dad's puns. These are energy puns. Turbo puns. Science, energy, electrolytes, turbo lights, power lights, more lights than your body has room for. You'll be so fast, Mother Nature will be like, slow down. And you'll be like, you, and kick her in the face with your energy legs. You'll have so much energy. Just running all the time. Power running, power lifting, power sleeping, power dating, power eating, power laughing, power spawning babies. You'll have so many babies. 400 babies. 400. Give chocolate to your babies and they'll be good at sports. Make your babies run abnormally fast. They'll run as fast as Kenyans. People will watch them running and think they're Kenyans. They'll race as fast as Kenyans against actual Kenyans, and it'll be a time they'll get deported back to Kenya. Hey, go with the sure thing. Don't gamble on your energy. Snake eyes.
If you haven't seen that internet video, That's a classic.
It is.
Postable, the video?
Yes. Steve, you'll link that up,
fun.
right? All right. That is the legendary Power Thirst energy drink.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed the thought of kicking Mother Nature in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not quite as high energy, but Glamour magazine, known for their fitness advice, offers 5 surprising ways to get more energy.
Okay.
Right. See what you think of these. I believe these will be met with mixed reactions.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to this.
Some you might say, okay, there's some science behind that. That makes sense. And others you're going to think are probably stupid. Let's start with one that you may say is stupid. Number 1, change your socks.
The hell does that have to do with anything?
Give you more energy if you change your socks.
That's what they say.
So like in the middle of the day?
That's exactly what they say. They says it sounds weird, but try it. Bring an extra pair of socks to work with you. For people who work a typical schedule, when you start to feel drained, as people often do around, say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
yeah,
it says, change your socks. You'll be amazed at how refreshing it is.
Is it the coolness of the sock as opposed to the 98-degree sock?
Because a lot of
I guess it's not all matted down yet. It feels kind of more fluffy.
It's half soupy by the time you get to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I don't think it gives you more energy.
No,
I think it feels cool on your foot.
Yeah, it probably feels nice for about, I don't know, 5 minutes until you use your feet again.
Right. And
Wouldn't
then it's back.
It's probably a nice distraction from whatever else you're doing at work at that point.
Yeah, couldn't you get the same effect by just taking off your shoes and socks for 5 minutes during like a smoke break or something?
Probably.
Put your feet up.
By the way, I don't really want to be at the workplace where everybody's changing socks during the middle of the day.
No one wants to see your stupid, gnarly a-hole feet.
1-800-947-3979. This is number 2. This one I've heard from lots of people, and I think it makes sense. I wish that if we didn't start our day so early, this would be part of my plan probably, and that is work out earlier. If you work out at night, it might prevent you from getting enough sleep. Scientists think it floods your brain with stress hormones to make falling asleep harder. I think most people who worked out late at night will say that's true. There's a reason I can never fall asleep after basketball.
Yeah, it takes a while.
You're all jacked.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can, like for people who work out early in the day, that pushes you longer through the day.
It's giving you more energy.
They're suggesting that if you work out late at night, it's not that it gives you more energy by working out later in the day, that it would sap less of your energy because you would have an easier time falling asleep.
Now, in true nerd fashion, I don't know if this is in there, but I do know that, like Hot Wings, who is building muscle as he trains with his crazy muscle men, not crazy, but good trainers, you are, in fact, increasing the amount of muscle on your frame, which, Hot Wings, on a cellular level, increases the number of mitochondria in your muscle cells. And these little things are the power plants of each cell. They utilize energy. They put out energy.
So they're my cell's batteries.
Exactly. The more muscle you have, the more mitochondria you have. So in that aspect, I am pretty sure you would have more energy based on the fact that you're working out. So if it's running, swimming, biking, lifting weights, playing basketball, tennis, blah, 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 you getting your ass more tone and bigger, which everybody's talking about that, by the way.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
A lot of Hot Wings butt talk.
Yeah.
So
out my jeans.
Yeah, I don't know if that's on there, but
adding muscle will typically boost your metabolism. Isn't that true?
Because of that reason.
Because of that, yeah, it all ties together.
Yeah.
That one is not on there because this is more foo-foo kind of stuff.
Easy
like
day-to-day lame stuff.
Change your socks.
Yeah.
I don't believe that one.
Alan in Nashville has a change your socks update. Hi, Alan.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Why would that work?
The toxins that are in your body will come out, from your feet, and that's what gives you the odor in your socks from your feet. So if you change the toxin, change the socks, it gets rid of the toxins that you've already excreted, and it's not brought back into your feet.
Wait a minute. Toxins don't come out your foot, and that's why they smell. Your foot smells because it's in an enclosed shoe, and that's sweat, and it stinks, and it's bacteria.
It's bacteria from your feet and your body. It's getting rid of the toxins.
All right.
I have seen these things, it's one of those as seen on TV things, where you put these like pads on your feet, and when you take them off, they're filled with gross, disgusting, whatever. They
why don't
turn
you?
to black
Because your shoes, it's foot.
Your feet are gross. Well, it's the
closed shoe. It's kind of like if you put your hand in a glove all day and then took your hand out, it would smell like your foot.
I mean, there is something to it, because if you think about a day where, like, if you get up and you have a long road trip, like if we travel and you have your shoes on from the time you go to work until the time we, like in the times where we've done a road trip, where, like, say we end up in Albany. And so you've had your shoes on at the airport and then everything else. When you finally take them off, it is incredibly relaxing. But I don't know that all of a sudden I go, whoa, burst of energy. Let me run around the hotel for a while. Ari in Ohio, you think we're undervaluing the benefit of sock change?
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
I'd say so. No, I mean, every day when I get home from work, as soon as I change the socks from the work socks, those thin ones that keep your feet all cold and clammy when they get all sweaty, change to like a more absorbent pair of cotton socks, and it honestly, I think it is pretty refreshing. Not in the way that it like cools off your feet or anything, but it just kind of gives you...
It gives you energy, you say.
That's right, exactly.
Why don't you just wear cotton socks all the time?
I could do that. I could do that, but I like to look professional with those black thin cotton socks. Do they make thicker ones?
Well, they make black cotton socks.
Yeah, I have.
I have some at home.
I'm wearing some today.
Hell, I usually, I don't get dressed up that often, so I don't really have many dress socks. I just wear dark black.
But leave it to this show to park on the stupidest one of all of these stupid things.
Every call we're getting is related to sock changing.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're the only ones who don't believe in it.
Apparently, yeah.
The only thing socks are good for is just to stick your foot in all day and then use as a hanky when it's
use them as a bank.
Yeah,
if you will.
Use
for cleanup. Because of sock talk, we're only going to get through two of these.
Great.
I'll have to say,
dang it. I'm going to try to get energetic.
I'm going to say about your stupid sock fetish.
The other three for later, and I'll give you a hint. One of the other three could be tied into a regular Christmas advertisement that everyone knows about.
Are those your ankles, or did you take in your socks?
In a moment, Mike Tyson on Oprah yesterday. Wait till you hear some of the things he said that had everybody bawling. That's next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
Anytime you're playing against this team, you got to hold in against that double team, and if you can do that, now you have a chance.
Boy, these guys are relentless coming with pressure, and especially to the blind side of the quarterback.
Cox loads and goes deep.
I don't think he goes down until the 10th guy.
1-800-947-3979. We'll get to those other three health tips coming up just after the top of the hour. One of them actually has something to do, in a weird way, with an annual gag Christmas gift. One that's been in the news a lot lately. In a strange sort of way.
Feel it coming in the air tonight.
Hangover.
Oh, Lord.
The one and only Mike Tyson.
I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
There were people who saw this movie just because of this moment in the trailer.
Perfect.
Oh, Lord.
So awesome.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Mike Tyson. He slugs them.
Remember, it's funny because he's sort of made a transition, as you'll hear, to a sympathetic character. And obviously, when I say character, I mean in the very real sense. But there was a time, remember when Jimmy Kimmel was kind of the first one to have him on, when everybody still thought Tyson was a lunatic, and Kimmel had him on as when he was doing the weekly guest host, and
they're good friends.
And Mike Tyson was his guest host, and at the time you're like, oh my God, Tyson might kill someone.
Right. Well, Iron Mike. Not known as that anymore these days, on Oprah, talking about the documentary that everybody's talking about called Tyson. Oprah watched it, and she loves it. Mm-hmm. She absolutely loves this documentary. So she has him on. He's sitting there, and one of the things she kept touching on was how incredibly honest he was. In this first clip, he talks about being scared of himself.
Confidence to fight back.
to fight back. Okay, so you gave this quote to the Associated Press about seeing yourself for the first time in this movie. You said, I never knew why I had the public opinion the way I did. Then when I watched the movie, I get it. For the first time, I get it. I'm watching as a human being that's very rational now. I say, this guy's so unpredictable. You don't know if he's going to take you out to dinner or stab you with a fork.
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah.
Is that intentionally funny?
Mm-hmm. And this is what you realized about yourself after watching the film about yourself.
Well, you know, I took a chance to become more objective. I never became more objective with myself, and I watched myself in the sense. And when you watch the film, I look at it and I said, well, a guy would make me nervous if I was in a room with him alone.
Absolutely.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Looks at himself and says, that guy's crazy.
It's got to be like looking at, like the kind of referenced, a different person now, that he's in a different mental state. And he's watching, I assume when he says watching himself, he's talking about those moments like when he was standing at a podium at a weigh-in,
freaking out,
grabbing his testicles and screaming, I want to eat your children. I wish you had children so I could stamp on their testicles, all that stuff.
I'm the best ever.
In this clip, he comes unglued many, many times, and it's never pretty when Tyson starts crying. And one of the things that'll get him there is when he starts talking about this old mentor and trainer, Cus D'Amato. Cus D'Amato was an old guy and ran a gym, and Tyson started working with him at a very young age. And D'Amato was his trainer for all the way up to 1985 when he was just starting to become a young man. And you bring up this guy's name, D'Amato, his only father, and Tyson loses it.
Yeah.
So Mike's mother died when he was 16, and he never knew his father. One of the most poignant moments in this film, Tyson, is Mike remembering the boxing trainer, the mentor, who was like a father to him, Cus D'Amato. Take a look at this.
I never knew he was like me. He was from a bad neighborhood. He was a street kid like me. And then one day he used to just say, listen, you have the chance to change your life, your family's life. You could be something very special. So I did everything he told me to do, and I won. I won every championship from the amateur championship. Oh, I won all the championships. I'm gonna cry. So I won every championship that he told me, because he told me what to do. And I started believing in this old man. Cus trained me to be totally ferocious in the ring and out. We had a totally different relationship. That's why once I got involved with Cus, I was a young boy, but once he spoke with me every night about discipline and character, I knew nobody physically was me again.
Now that was all from the film. His quote. Then they come back to Oprah, talks more about the guy.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for that, you know. Yeah. I was just prepared just to, as far as he's concerned, be a god. Yeah. All we did was we would sit down and watch all the great
fights. Yeah.
And
painful.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, this is a mess. We watch all the great fighters.
Man, he can't.
Oh, where?
Oh no.
How do you beat him?
How do you beat him?
Straighten up, act like a man. Don't sit there crying and screaming, idiot.
Oh, jeez.
Just that no one could beat Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Thought.
I grew up here.
Cus thought nobody could beat Muhammad Ali. Yeah. And even today, you still think that?
Well, that's what I feel, because that's what I was taught. Mm-hmm. But some people may think I'm better. Mm-hmm. But.
Do you think you're better?
Than Ali.
I listened to my mentor. Mm-hmm. He said Ali's the best ever. I agree with him.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Tyson, in this clip, remember this one?
I'm the best ever.
Whoops.
I'm the best ever.
I guess he rethought that.
Okay, there's plenty of stuff to cover. How much time? We got a couple minutes. So let's, you remember the awful thing that happened? Okay, his marriage to Robin Givens.
Yeah, this was a
There's-
very toxic relationship in that famous interview. Was it with Barbara Walters on 2020?
Barbara Walters, and he talked about that. In that interview, she really let him have it. She's talking about he's manic depressive, he's abusive, he's mean. And
Was Barbara Walters saying that, or Robin Givens
Robin
was?
Givens was. And he didn't fight. He didn't say a word during that. And in hindsight, he looks back at it and says, man, I was really, really mad with that when she did that to me.
Well, I remember when that happened, people were talking about, boy, they're lucky Tyson didn't punch Barbara Walters and punch Robin Givens in that moment, because at that time his reputation was powder keg, a little spark and an explosion.
So they talked about that. Listen to what he says he wanted to do to her. By the way, he thinks he has no ill will towards anybody now.
Why did you sit there that whole time?
I don't know. I was just overwhelmed.
Were you surprised that she was saying those things?
Yeah. I truly wanted to sock her. At that particular moment, I truly wanted to sock her. But
truly,
I just didn't do it. I was young at the time. I was really
Did you sock her afterwards?
No, not afterwards. I didn't sock her. I wanted to sock her. I have socked her before, and she socked me before as well. But it was just that kind of relationship, you know.
Was it an abusive relationship?
Oh, definitely.
Who says sock?
Definitely, both ways.
Yeah.
By the way,
the greatest puncher of all time is talking about socking someone.
I put one on a kisser.
I mean, really, I might be able to sock you in the arm because I don't have punching power. Mike Tyson has never socked anyone. He's bludgeoned people.
Yeah.
He's battered people. He's never socked anyone.
I saw you cringe when after he talks about punching her and she punching him, Oprah, with the very pointed, so it was an abusive relationship.
Yeah. Really?
No.
I mean, didn't Mike Tyson
say so?
At one point say the hardest hit he ever had was when he punched Robin Givens and then she bounced off the wall? Didn't he make that statement back when?
So, yeah.
He might have.
That might be
I don't
more.
think she's to blame. I was
Yeah, but when you listen, when you say both ways, I just touched your thigh. My God, if you hit somebody, they're hurt. I mean, you are a very big guy, so it'd be hard for some woman to stand up against you physically.
That's true too. But know what happened? I hope she don't take. Robin is a very tough woman. She's very tough.
Yeah, she can take
and
it.
she can be very mean as well. She's not no easy pushover at all.
Come on, Tyson. Come on.
Very strong. But I was like when I was in this marriage,
I'm sure it hurt. It's not a good argument he's making.
Like a puppy dog. She could have done anything. I was like, okay, I love you.
Right. Now, got awful for Mike again with Tyson on his daughter that died. Remember that one? Just too long ago.
recently.
Yeah, very recently. Very sad.
Exodus, who passed away through some bizarre accident. Can you tell us exactly what happened?
Mom, listen, oh man, this is my angel right there.
They got her picture right behind him.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. I don't want to know. You know, oh boy, I went about this. I started off to go about this in the wrong direction. I started to go just go in this place and start blasting.
Yeah, he's rambling.
Once I got there, I think from all my experiences in rehab and all this, it just kicked in. Boom. Mm-hmm. It was all about being responsible. Mm-hmm. What had to be done, she had to be buried. She had to be taken care of.
Not making any sense.
I didn't have no animosity. I didn't have no anger towards anybody. I felt I had the right to.
Guy's broken.
Mm-hmm. He really is.
I really felt. I don't know. I just I don't want to say the wrong thing because I know. Mm-hmm. I thought
But we heard it was a freak accident that she.
Yeah. Well,
somehow.
That's what I heard too.
Had twisted the cord.
I don't know.
You don't know. You still don't.
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
No, I don't want to. Because if I know, then I'm gonna put somebody's gonna be a blame for it. Mm-hmm. And if somebody's to blame for it, it's gonna be a problem.
You don't want to carry that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He actually seems like he's fearful that he could lose his mind at any time. Just the way he's saying that, I think we're all on the same page. That he's saying, I don't want to know if someone did something wrong because I'm fearful of what I would do. And I think I don't think that's so different than what a lot of people would say if their child was taken from them in a way that seems like it could have been avoided. The difference is he has a history that says he would probably do something.
Like a true addict addicted to his anger and whatever. He has now a very structured life. He talked about it in other clips that we have, but he talked about it and how he has to stay within these parameters, and his wife, who was there, helps him with that. But, he talked about how this is his first relationship he's been monogamous, and he talked about how it has to be structured, and if he steps out of it, he's in danger again. He is never, for the rest of this guy's life, he's never out of the woods. He will never live easy.
So was he saying in that one at the beginning of that clip is that when he first heard she was going to die or that she had died, his first gut reaction was to go and just start beating people.
That's what it
sounded like. Or to be physically violent, and he was able, because of the training he's had, he was able to be okay.
This is our last cut we have. Tyson thought he was a god, and he talks about drugs.
I thought I was a god. I thought a god of combat, of fighting, the art of fighting. Yeah.
So you used the word God because you thought of yourself as a god. Yeah. With a little G.
Yeah.
Not the big G.
I don't know. It could have been a big G.
He doesn't even know what she means.
I needed to believe that.
Yeah.
I needed to believe that. That was my thinking ever since I was 12 years old. Once I got, then I had to think that.
Remember that.
Conscious of who I am. I'm just gonna allow myself to run riot, and I'm gonna destroy my beautiful family. I'm gonna destroy myself, and I don't want to go down that road anymore. I know what it's like to be down that dark road and meet the devil and hang out with him for a while. I don't want to do that no more.
And how did you realize differently, or did you realize differently?
I had a gentleman who I used to purchase drugs from, and he tried.
What was your drug of choice?
Everything. But he tried to do an intervention on me.
Yeah. Didn't work.
No.
Yeah. I'd be scared to have an intervention with you. Yeah. Didn't work. Because an intervention means you have to be surrounded by enough people whom you love and trust.
Imagine if he said, I know what it means, Oprah, I just can't say it.
Yeah. I don't think he had in most of his life people around him that loved him and that he could trust. That's
terrible.
Part of the reason people are sympathetic to him is because every step of his life he's been brutalized by strangers and then worse by the people that he trusted. I can't imagine. I think that's what makes it like when we talked about the people you'd want to have dinner with in the first ever Friday Top 5, Friday Top 3. I think Tyson would be a guy that any of us could add to our list and be fascinated by.
Brutally honest.
Question.
That's what she kept talking about, how honest he was in this thing.
Pretty remarkable. And it's weird to hear a guy like him. I mean, you could hear fear in his voice at certain points where he's fearful of what could come in his life when he talked about destroying his family and stuff. And talk about a guy who 20 years ago you wouldn't have believed that he could even understand or ever possess a moment of fear. You would have thought that if you put a gun to his face and pulled the trigger until it was about to click, that he would not have been fearful. And he probably wouldn't have been at that point. That's pretty amazing. We'll have those other 3 energy tips for you, including the one that kind of ties in with a Christmas novelty gift.
Let's hope it's better than the stupid sock one.
Oh, we're still getting sock emails about foot toxins. Yeah. We may have to revisit that, too. We'll get to that coming up. And headlines, wait till you hear some of the stuff in there, including a quote from the guy who wrote Where the Wild Things Are, who has thoughts on some who are suggesting the movie is too scary for children. That's on the way. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
In the meantime, you've got helmets locked here.
You don't see things like that very often.
No.
And it makes you a little uncomfortable when you do watching something like that.
He's the thumper of the group. At 6'1", 245 pounds.
Yeah, got to find a way to get 12 inches.
Cox deep middle again. DJ Williams and Brian Dawkins laying the wood.
Sounds of the game from this past weekend. Check those out. The full compilation of all of the sounds of the game goes up at freebeerandhotwings.com, so you can hear them all back to back to back in one full batch, so to speak. What Hot Wings thinks at the end of this hour. Headlines before that, including Sweat Lodge deaths, the Phillies in the National League Championship Series, and the author of Where the Wild Things Are, which a lot of people, well, according to the commercial at least, are calling that movie an instant classic. And a lot of adults want to see what is probably a kid's movie. I have no recollection of I'm familiar with the book.
Yeah, that's what I am too. And
I don't even.
The fact Joe, our very own producer Joe, is really gung-ho about seeing this.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk more about that coming up in a little while. But earlier, about 30 minutes ago, we were talking about, from Glamour Magazine, 5 surprising ways to get more energy.
Yeah.
One of them was work out earlier in the day. The later you work out, the more likely it is to deprive you of sleep because it gets your body all fired up, for lack of appropriate medical terms, and it keeps you from falling asleep. And if you get more sleep, you'll have more energy. The other one was, they suggested, which seemed ridiculous, was change your socks. It sounds weird, but try it. They say bring an extra pair of socks to work with you. Then when you start feeling drained around 3 o'clock, change them. You'll be amazed at how refreshing it was. And we had a caller who said, oh, it's because of the foot toxins.
Yeah.
The foot toxins. They leak out, and you get rid of those toxins. And, Zane, you called BS right away.
Yep.
Absolutely. Your feet aren't a waste device.
Now, we got a lot of calls from people who said we were undervaluing that and saying we were wrong.
Yeah.
Amanda writes, the whole foot detox thing has been proven to be a hoax, a money scam. Think about it. The skin on your foot is the thickest skin in your body. If we were all constantly leaking toxins from our feet, don't you think we'd be leaking toxins from our face, which is thin skin? The next person actually says they used to work in a medical clinic in Peoria.
Uh-huh.
Says, I talked to 2 of the doctors in the office about those pads that remove the foot toxins. They both said it's a complete scam. You don't get rid of toxins through the bottom of your feet. Your feet will sweat and the pads will get dirty, but that doesn't do anything.
No. The reason why your foot, it looks like there's filth coming off because your foot is in a hot shoe all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah,
it sweats.
Even John Stossel tried them out and said it's a complete scam. Mm-hmm. These Kinoki foot pads or whatever, you see them on TV.
Yeah, let me say that anyone who called and believed that is simple, and you've just earned a not so often given away these days banning for a good solid week for your stupidity.
That's the thing.
A week long.
Yeah.
All you have to do is think about it for 1 second. If all these toxins came out of your foot, when you took off a white sweat sock and flipped it inside out, don't you think it'd be black? But it's not.
It certainly wouldn't be white.
Yeah. Mine still are pretty much white. They might stink, but they're white.
Also, if my feet leaked toxins all the time, I probably wouldn't want to walk on my carpet.
The only toxins that guy has to deal with are the ones coming out of his stupid mouth from stupid thoughts.
So number 3 on this list, stand on your toes. This is for an energy boost, they say. According to experts, now where they get these experts, loosely defined, if you roll up and down on your toes, it wakes up your circulatory system. More blood starts flowing, which means more oxygen and glucose is sent through your body, so you feel more energized. You can try this right now. It doesn't say for how long you have to stand on your toes.
It's not
but it does say you should roll up and down.
Gentle increase in your energy.
Couldn't you do that with any motion of your body? Wouldn't that get your circulation moving?
Muscle flexion.
Seems like I could
stand up, do some stretching, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, that's all.
A couple air punches.
Could do jumping jacks. Would also get blood flow going.
I don't know. Walk to the bathroom. That would get your circulation moving.
Yeah, it could be anything.
You can roll on your toes somewhat subtly. Steve and I are both doing it. Feel stupid.
Do you feel energetic, though?
No, I feel the same.
Do you want to run and jump and play?
Do you have energy legs?
Mm-hmm.
I have turbo legs, for goodness sakes.
Yep. Do you have lightning in your legs?
Do you have anything good on this?
Sniff some citrus.
Sniff citrus.
Mm-hmm. Research has shown that the smell of citrus can make you more alert. You could cut into an orange, take a whiff, or you could rub some citrus-scented lotion on your hands.
Well, I like...
Ooh, and you'll want to get a whiff of this.
I mean, I like the smell of citrus, a fresh cut orange or something. I don't know if it would make me energetic.
Smell.
This is stupid.
It's certainly, it's pleasant.
You can join us with your own theories. Or if you think any of these work, you're welcome to try. Because there may be people who have read this magazine from Glamour, have seen this already.
This will wake you up. How about that?
Yeah, I always wake up for that.
1-800-947-3979. The last one.
Take a shower. Dang.
I'm glad you said shower. You scared me for a second.
Taking a shower does generally wake me up and give me energy.
I feel better after I take a shower.
Yeah.
You get the night grime off you. If you might sleep or sweat while you sleep a little or something like that.
Those days when something goes wrong and you wake up late and you can't take a shower for work, at least in my case, awful.
I hate ball cap day.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
I never get caught up. I never start to feel normal.
No, I like showering.
All right, number 3. This is the one this is the last one, and I said it
Thank God.
It has some sort of tie-in to a typical holiday gag gift. Any ideas?
Chia.
It is chia.
There you go.
Eat chia seeds.
Oh, that seems like a poor idea.
Chia seeds.
Those seeds used to grow those things are apparently a great energy source. You can buy them in bulk at health food stores, and they can be incorporated into most meals.
Whatever,
chia seeds.
hippie. Shut your stupid, ugly mouth.
So you can't eat the chia grass or chia weed or whatever that is that grows off your chia Obama.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to eat chia seeds.
I don't think they're that great.
It doesn't seem...
I mean, if they're selling them at a health food store, they're probably not...
Yeah, but they sell a lot of crazy things at health food stores. I mean, plenty of it's good, but some of it's just silliness, too. I mean, frankly.
Yes.
I'll bet no one has tried any of these things and had any sort of positive impact that you can feel. Because when you drink an energy drink, perceived or otherwise, you feel some sort of boost of energy. Now, I think that's probably really chemical, but it could also be in your head.
Here's the list. This is all you need. Coffee, cocaine. That is a huge pick-me-up.
Pseudoephedrine. That's a good one.
Pseudoephedrine?
Yeah, that'll really get you buzzing. I just did a whole episode of Glee on that. I really bought into that.
Angel dust.
Angel
very, very high on that list. Methamphetamine.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. Oh, that is
crazy,
crazy
that
good.
Excellent, yeah.
Crazy good.
Oh, a can of Duster.
Yep.
Is Duster a booster?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't overdo it. Otherwise, then it makes you slow.
Filled with energy.
Listen to how much of it. Listen to how much energy she See? Yeah. She's got tons of energy.
Zane, do you feel like you're walking on sunshine?
Only when I do cocaine.
If you're a child, Adderall or Ritalin. Those work.
Chop it up.
That's true, yeah.
Really pump you up.
Yeah.
Strangulation. Oftentimes, the lack of oxygen, then the release.
Yeah.
That's what I...
Right. The actual strangling takes away energy, but when the blood flow returns, it's like, as that lady said, walking on sunshine.
Yep.
Glory holes.
Yep.
Let's add them to the list.
Yep. Masturbation and buckets of sugar.
Oh, I'm glad you said sugar.
I feel better after a good roofie sleep.
Good roofie sleep.
So those are all good things.
Those are all great suggestions by the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Hot Wings, are your two suggestions, they have to go together, masturbation and bucket of sugar?
No, but if you combine them, it's really good.
What if buckets of sugar is what excites you?
Well,
it makes a delicious paste.
All right, so we have coffee, cocaine, pseudoephedrine, glory holes, roofies, and masturbation. I get tired after that.
I'm with Zane.
I get all sleepy. I want to crash.
That's why you have the buckets of sugar.
Well, that's why I fall asleep in the office bathroom all the time. What's in there? You never know.
Can you imagine a more embarrassing scenario than someone walking in with your half-flaccid stuff?
Asleep.
You're sitting on the toilet with the top down, so you couldn't have been going.
My leavings are all over the place.
You're asleep, and they have to nudge your face with their finger. What are you doing?
That drool?
Not sure if it's drool or something else.
No. I beat you to it.
I know.
Rick in Indiana. Hi, Rick.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Rick.
Hey, dude, change your socks.
What did they do in the military?
In the military, they have in their MREs, they have little bottles of Tabasco.
Yeah.
And they tell you when you're sleep deprived to put a couple drops in each one of your eyes, and that kind of shocks you back away.
Oh, in your eyes. That just seems like it would hurt your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm awake and I'm pissed that I have Tabasco in my eyes.
That would be
great. All right, if that doesn't work, we're going to shoot your toe off.
Yeah. I know, it's ridiculous, but that's what they say to do.
Uncle Sam said so.
Other MRE-related ways to wake up. Use the device that you can heat up food with and stick your hand in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Put it in your pants.
You're not kidding. That'll work great.
Pain.
That thing was amazing. It was like magic.
I was watching our video of when we got to go, quote-unquote, play Army that day with the ROTC, and we did the leadership course last night. And part of that video at the beginning of the first one is when everybody was busting into their MREs. And I forgot how much we laughed on that drive over various MRE-related things, including Steve's question to Joe. Hey, Joe, what you eating? Oh, no, don't care. As he takes a big spoonful. And then Zane's all of his questions of wonderment, which unfortunately were not in the video.
It was
childlike. How does this get so hot? Where did this food come from?
It was so sweet,
do they make
man.
this here in the United States?
MREs are awesome, and they do make them. The MREs, I had so much delight in eating that damn thing, and heating up my spare ribs, which I dropped into the little pouch, and then you add the water, lay it down, opening up, and it will heat that sucker fast.
Is there anyone we can tough talk into bringing us those like we do Monster? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we should.
I thought it was awesome once. I don't know if I want to prepare meals like that all the time.
If I had one every day, I would eat it.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
It's funny because when you guys were talking about how awesome they were, the people that have to eat them regularly, who have actually, that was their only choice, what they were serving, were like, yeah, it wears off.
Yeah.
Yeah. The novelty.
Yeah.
Yeah, not exactly like going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
In headlines, the author of Where the Wild Things Are tells everyone where they can go if they don't like the movie that's coming out.
That was great.
Sweat Lodge death, and the Phillies have a dramatic win. And there's a statistic relating to the Phillies' victory and to the Angels' victory the other night that is one of those weird sports statistical anomalies. We'll tell you about that coming up in just a little bit. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sounds of the game. Things that sound filthy from football.
Well, the inside Kevin Vickerson is going to get some good pressure right up the gut.
Johnson all the way out.
As that hole was plugged by Mouton. So number 8, Mouton, came quickly into that hole and filled on the run.
He did.
And the sack parade continues.
Sack parade.
Some people love that kind of parade.
Yeah. Sack parade.
A little bit later on this hour, there is no one listening who slept through something more ridiculous than the guy we're going to tell you about. He slept through something for 2 hours that at face value seems impossible and unbelievable. In fact, I thought it was an intentionally deceiving headline in order to get me to click on the story. And then sure enough, it actually was true. We'll tell you about that coming up in about 20 minutes or so. What Hot Wings thinks about Miley Cyrus stopping tweeting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is a historically offensive commentary today.
Yeah. You should hear this, man. Wow. You realize that she could hear it.
She could.
Yeah. Nashville. She lives in Nashville.
Where's, I think, if her dad hears it.
If anybody knows Billy Ray, make sure he's listening to the radio in about, we'll for sure hit it at the time.
30 minutes.
In about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's important that he knows that a secret might be out.
You know somebody knows it. So I'm not going to be satisfied today. That was very subtle. You say the secret might be out. I didn't want to let that slide.
Yeah, Hot Wings is not backpedaling on this at all.
I want an email today from somebody who is demanding an apology.
I think that's a reasonable possibility.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, I want it to be demanded that Hot Wings gets in a fist fight, a bare-knuckle brawl.
With Billy Ray?
With Billy Ray. I think that's possible, too.
You think Hot Wings? I mean, you're much stronger now. I mean, you've been exercising and considerably stronger. You think you can kick Billy Ray Cyrus's ass?
No, I think he's got country strength.
Oh, you know he's farmer strong.
Oh, yeah, big time. So, no, I think he could kick my ass, but...
Talking about his daughter in a filthy manner.
Little opinion on him, too.
Well, it's all bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about it.
No, there's nothing good about it. But,
you're such a shock
doubt
jock
if they're
today.
in Nashville anyway. I'm sure they're in their Hollywood digs.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Well, somebody's going to hear it and tell them. Shock jock.
Yeah. That's coming up in about 30 minutes.
Way to go, Opie.
1-800-947-3979. Headlines today. A couple different things to get to, including this Friday, the movie Where the Wild Things Are comes out. This is from a 1963 book by Maurice Sendak. Joe, you're excited to see this.
I think it looks cool.
Seems kind of gay.
Did you read the book when you were a kid, or did your parents read it to you, or teachers read it to you?
Yeah, all of the above.
All of the
comic book store owner.
Your parents didn't read it to you. That would imply they spent time with you.
So, did some barfly read it to you, Joe?
Yeah. No, I think they tried the first 4 years of my life.
By the heat of a toaster oven?
At the stand-in. But so you're looking forward to seeing it?
Yeah.
Hoppings, is this movie on your radar?
I think it looks cool. I vaguely remember the
giant
book.
people puppets.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe cool isn't the right word.
People
puppets. That's what they are.
But I vaguely remember the book. But man, I mean, I haven't seen that book since I was 4 or 5 years old. I mean, so I don't even remember exactly what goes on in it. I just remember some of the images from it. I don't remember the story. I remember the illustrations. So
I am familiar with the cover of the book from when we were children.
Yeah, that
and
big
I would
giant-headed thing.
To the reading workshop or whatever, and I had heard of it, and I know it from the movie posters, but I have no emotional connection and virtually no interest. Now, I keep seeing these things about how it's an instant classic and one of the best films of the year, and if it ends up being that kind of thing where it's truly something culturally iconic, then I'll probably go see it, but maybe. As it is, I have no interest in seeing it.
No, well, because ultimately it's still a kid's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you going to follow that up with, I don't know, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, something like that?
I want to see
all the Harry Potter films.
Mm-hmm. That Meatballs movie looks good, too.
Mm-hmm. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Mm-hmm. It is definitely a kids-themed movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. I enjoyed that, so maybe...
Well, that's a little more advanced, though, than Where the Wild Things Are.
Elf
it probably is.
I mean,
I did like Elf, Joe.
To crazy people puppets.
I also
you
like...
cannot compare that.
Apples and carrots, though they are, in fact, not the same things.
Elf is a kid's movie.
You
That's
like
a
Apocalypse
movie.
Now. You like Clockwork Orange.
Same thing.
It's the same.
I don't think Elf can be put in the same sort of category as Where the Wild Things Are, Joe. No one read the book Elf when they were kids. No one lined up to see that because it reminded them of their youth. People went to see Elf because Will Ferrell used to be funny, and that was a funny movie.
Yeah.
Well, what about Shrek?
I saw Shrek.
You liked Shrek?
I did.
There you go.
Yeah, but that had elements for adults. This is more like Curious George.
The king was Lord Farquaad. For God's sake.
Yeah, and also,
yeah, I mean,
none of us made the argument, Joe, that we've never enjoyed a movie that was based for children.
Yeah.
Joe, face it. The only reason why you're interested in the stupid people puppet movie is because it's the only happiness you ever experienced in your stupid, broken pothead home.
That's probably true. But there are others like
Joe.
me. I think there are.
Thanks,
I think
Joe.
it's going to be a huge opening weekend for that movie.
Yeah.
But it seems I missed anal.
Joe's mom.
But it
Is that
seems
from
I
the?
missed anal.
Is that from the book?
But it seems I missed anal.
Well, that was being said while I was reading the book.
So Maurice Sendak is the author of the book that came out in 1963. And when it came out at the time, there were parents who thought that the book would be too scary for children. There was actually an uproar back then. And so here we are 46 years later, and very few kids would find that book frightening now. It's because just the changing sensibility, and certainly very few parents would say that it's too scary for children, and at least not maybe very very young children. But the movie version hits theaters this weekend, as you know, and there's a new controversy among some people. And Maurice Sendak, who is now 81 years old, is apparently still fed up with what he refers to as the garbage about children being afraid of the story.
He is, huh?
Quote, when asked if he's got a message for parents who think the movie might be too scary for the children, his response, quote, when asked if he had a message for them, I would tell them to go to hell. That's a question I will not tolerate.
You can go to hell.
Yeah. That is classic. I would tell them to go to hell. If they can't handle it, go home or wet your pants. Do whatever you like, but that's not a question that can be answered. This concentration on kids being scared as though we as adults can't be scared. Of course we're scared. I'm scared of watching a TV show about vampires. I can't fall asleep.
Joe,
it never stops. We're grown-ups. We know better, but we're afraid.
Someone needs to book him for an interview immediately. So the first question, what's his name, Maurice Sendak?
Yes.
Maurice Sendak joining us on the Free Beer and Hopping Show, author of Where the Wild Things Are. New movie coming out Friday. Maurice Sendak, for years, tried to scare children with his book. And Maurice, what's your thoughts on how many times you tried to frighten to death children?
In fact, In fact, I think it's an intern view, and instead of giving them no information, we give them the opening question, and they have to read it verbatim.
Yeah.
You are a fearmonger and have tried to make children scared for years. Your thoughts on how much of a fearmonger that you are. Maurice, go.
I love the fact that his quote is actually, I would tell them to go to hell. That's kind of an old school thing to say.
Yeah.
Young people have different insults these days. Go to hell was...
That's a great one. Go to hell.
It's pretty strong. It really sends a clear message of what you want.
It is. It's great.
Meanwhile, we've talked about in the past, my wife has gone to sweat lodges. She's actually planning on participating in one this weekend. So this news.
Now, is it the same exact thing? Is that the same?
I'm not sure. I'm just learning about this story, but it sounds pretty similar.
Yeah. There's a sweat lodge in central Arizona where 2 people were overcome and later died, lacked the necessary building permit, and officials said Monday. Apparently, 55 to 65 people attending the Spiritual Warrior program, hosted by a self-help expert and author James Arthur Ray, were crowded into the 415-square-foot space, pretty small, during a 2-hour period. Kirby Brown, 38, of Westtown, New York, and James Shore, 40, of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, died after being overcome in a sauna-like hut, which was built specifically for the 5-day retreat.
Yeah.
19 other people were hospitalized with symptoms ranging from dehydration to kidney failure. Here is part of the 911 call as played on Inside Edition.
2 people aren't breathing. There's no pulse.
Is this a result of a shooting or something?
No, it was a sweat lodge. They're both unconscious, no pulse, and not breathing.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
That would scare me away.
Man.
I would never, ever go.
Well, the thing about this, I was reading up on it from the New York Times, actually. This guy, Joseph Bruchak, he's an expert on Native American traditions, and said that the number far surpassed the 8 to 12 typically present at one of these sweat lodges. They had 55 to 65.
Oh.
The lodge itself is only 4.5 feet tall at its highest point, and it says a sweat lodge similar to a sauna is an enclosed space where water is poured on heated rock. Such structures are often used in Native American ceremonies. Traditional lodges are usually made of willow branches and covered in canvas or animal skins and are not meant to be airtight. The authorities said the lodge at Angel Valley was covered in plastic and blankets.
That's what
they were in there for 2 hours. Usually it's less than an hour.
What you're describing is typical. I think my wife said they're normally in there for a half an hour at a time. I'm guessing in 2 hours they'd be in and out of there 2 or 3 times. And yeah, she definitely has a much smaller group. Now, she did tell me, and I, for the life of me, can't figure out why this is something that people do, because she describes it as being almost torturous, and that's what's so cleansing about it. She said when she goes to this in the past, when she breathes in or even breathes normal, that it burns the nostrils. It's so hot in there.
Hot.
That's not fun.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe some of the theory behind that is kind of, do you remember when we did firefighter training in Knoxville, Tennessee?
Yes.
And the firefighters would say that when they go into a fire, it's actually great if they have a cold going in. If they have a cold or the flu or something, they say, you go in there, and when you come out, it's gone because it cooks it out of you. Literally, it gets so hot in there. So I guess it would be the same theory.
You're right.
You spend enough time and it's hot enough that it basically kind of kills the germs instead of incubating it at your regular temperature at 98.
I want to go burn my house down to get rid of my sore throat.
I think that's the way to go.
I think that's the way to go. But yeah, man, you got to do it right or you're going to put yourself at some serious risk.
All those people in there for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's way too many people crammed in there. Maybe.
Either that or Tangina and the Indian were trying to scare away ghosts, like in Poltergeist 2.
Could be. First time in 15 years the plot of Poltergeist 2 has been referenced.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of 2. 1 sometimes.
Poltergeist 1 would have been impressive. In a moment, bet no one's listening who has slept through something more ridiculous than the guy will tell you about. I can't tell you what it is yet because that's part of the fun. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hotwig Show.
More sounds of the game with the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And he nails the tight end.
Taylor set him up, and Harrison pounded Johnson with the turf.
Johnson.
Well, you called it right. Kevin Mawai, the center, is just going to pull out.
Michael Williams blew the running back that time. Second down and 10.
What? You take out the great Johnson, but Williams didn't turn around quickly enough.
Yeah, take out the great Johnson, and Williams didn't turn around quickly enough. And then Musburger on that other one, he said he blew a guy.
Michael Williams blew the running back that.
Michael Williams blew a running back?
Michael Williams blew the running back that time. Second down and 10.
He's not a big deal, though, you can tell, because he just says down and distance after that.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Michael Williams blew the running back that time.
He's always doing that.
Wow, I didn't know.
What Hot Wings thinks at the end of this segment. Hot Wings' very offensive commentary.
Yeah, way to go, man.
Oh, it's not. Come on.
Pretty rough.
I don't know what's more offensive, your commentary or the fact that you pretend to sheepishly not understand why it's a problem and why you'll probably be fired.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'll probably
that
be
won't
fired.
happen. I disagree with that part. I just think that Hillbilly Cyrus is going to be pissed off. That's all you need.
I would be if I were him.
Just after the top of the hour, we have a bet no one is listening to kind of segment that'll start in about 20 minutes. That show code will dictate that you have to call if you've been a part of it. This is something that came up because a lot of the times are changing, so to speak, and people get divorced and parents start grabbing onto things that would change the way a child would have to deal with them. All of a sudden, a parent is single. And so we're going to be looking for people to call and share their show code story about the time that they had to help their mother or father get sex, specifically in a booty call fashion, either taking them and dropping them off after they've had a couple drinks and they call you and say, hey, take me to so-and-so's house, or picking them up in the morning when they so they can drive instead of doing the quote-unquote walk of shame.
Oh, boy.
Because Hot Wings, can you imagine?
No.
I can't.
No.
None of us can.
But that's because I didn't grow up in a house where my parents tried to be my best friend. I'm guessing that is the type of relationship you have to have for this to happen, where, like, as soon as you turn 18, you guys start you start going to bars together. The mom and daughter are scoping for guys together, and it's all weird. You see them on reality shows and stuff, and you go, nah.
Yeah.
They sleep with the same guy.
Screwed up.
Three-way.
Yeah.
You know it's happened.
That's actually
definitely
kind of cool.
I mean, I guess the mom was really hot.
Yeah.
So I don't think, sometimes like yesterday we played Bad Wedding Poker, and we could try to do it on this, but I don't know that anyone's going to be able to top the news story that starts it off, the first hand dealt, so to speak. We already got an email because we said, what's the strangest thing you've slept through? And we didn't think anyone was going to be able to top this. For example, Justin said he slept through a monster truck rally. Snoozed through most of the show.
I can believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that,
you
too.
get used to the noise, and then what? Yeah.
Joe
no problem.
Slept through most of the great movies of the last decade and all of the bad ones.
Yeah. And live stand-up comedy shows.
Live stand-up comedy shows.
Yeah.
When you did that, were you visible from the stage? Could they have seen you?
Yeah.
No. Sitting right in the front.
Because, when they have the lights, if you're further back, they can't see you. But if you're up close, they definitely can see you.
Tim Kavanaugh started singing wacky songs, and boom, I was out.
Tim Kavanaugh. Uh-huh.
I can't blame you. Mm-hmm. So listen to what this guy slept through.
But this is I have a news report of this story.
Oh.
So, yeah,
let's roll that.
That is a quick addition that we did not know about, but in searching through it on cool links at freebirdandhotwings.com, I came up with this.
Good afternoon. I'm Stacy Smith. A man was severely injured when the home around him was destroyed. Amazingly, though, even though the building around him was collapsing because it was on fire, he slept through the entire ordeal. Ross Gadati is live now in Ross Township with more. Ross?
This hour, we know that Edward Stefanik remains in critical condition in Mercy Hospital. We also know a couple of other things. Number one, he is an incredibly sound sleeper and a very lucky man.
And a big drunk, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding.
He's having a bad dream. Wake him up.
Mm-hmm. When Ross Township firefighters arrived at 135 Buck Hill Road, they encountered not just a fire, but a wood-fed raging inferno.
The fire was...
Could have just said fire and gotten away with it.
Yeah, a really big house fire.
People didn't think it was a controlled burn in a barbecue grill.
Not just a fire, but a wood-fed raging inferno.
Thank God. I thought it was an oil derrick fire, and they were going to have to get Texas oil men to put it out.
That clarification really helped.
He really painted a nice picture.
Mm-hmm.
Coming through the roof. Good section of the building was totally consumed.
Inside a victim, firefighters, of course, tried to help.
He went partially into the building, but due to the fact of the smoke and the heavy fire, the fire chief ordered everybody out of the building. We had some collapse at that time also.
You would not think anybody would be alive in there with as much fire was coming out of it.
You would in fact think that the home's resident, Edward Stefanik, was dead. But 2 hours after the fire was out, firefighters actually went in to secure the structure and Edward Stefanik's remains. As they moved toward the rear of the building,
they
keep it down.
God dang it! Entered into one of the rear rooms and discovered a victim, and he was still alive. The fellow back there really didn't realize what was happening.
The reason for that is that Edward Stefanik, believe it or not, was asleep. For 2 hours, his home burned around him, and he didn't wake up. Only when firefighters entered his bedroom and startled him did he realize something was going on. So out of it was Stefanik. He turned to the firefighters and asked them, "Why are you breaking the windows of my home?"
Oh.
They, of course, explained. Stefanik was taken to Mercy Hospital.
But he's burned. He was like on fire.
Condition. But he's still breathing. How? Luck and location.
And my smarminess.
Happened to be probably in the most remote section in a bedroom that apparently was sealed enough that smoke wasn't able to get in.
I'm very folksy.
Mm-hmm. That said, Edward Stefanik is believed to have suffered some measure of smoke inhalation. The cause of this fire remains under investigation. In Ross Township, Ross Guidotti, KDK TV News.
All right.
Wow. 2 trials get underway for...
No one here.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know how...
That's one of the most ridiculous things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Asleep. He had to have been just...
Yeah, I mean, maybe when
floating.
they found him, then he was out of it, but I would guess he
didn't
was actually
know.
sort of knocked out for a while, maybe from fumes, and then once the fumes cleared...
But they said the room was sealed, and there wasn't that much smoke in there, and there was no fire in there.
If I was a firefighter, if I was dealing with somebody that stupid, I would have just looked around and then taken a shovel and hit him with it.
Mm-hmm.
1-800
Look around.
947-3979.
Well, victim's dead. Victim, he died.
Looks like a shovel fell off the wall and hit him in the face.
Yeah,
okay. Twice.
I don't know why he had my shovel on his wall, but
No idea.
Weird.
It was an accident.
So crazy.
I thought I had
inhalation. He's dead.
Thought I had to hack my way out of the room. Turns out it was him.
Yeah, I thought he was the door.
How crazy those fire department had to think it was a prank or something. They're knocking the windows out of his room, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?
Take it easy, man. Keep it down, you stupid son of a bitch.
You're ruining my house.
What are you doing? You're ruining the house.
Come
This guy has all new double panes."
Now, I don't believe anybody can top sleeping through 2 hours of... And they did show some video of that house on fire.
Oh, it was
engulfed. It was the kind of thing where truly no one would look at it and think anyone could possibly have been even alive in there.
No.
Much less asleep and unaware of what's going on.
It's because it wasn't just a fire, guys.
What kind of fire was it?
A wood-fueled inferno from Hades is what it was.
It's like a dragon sneezed on this house. It's so bad. This is Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Well, I don't know if I can top that, but I don't know. This might be pretty close. I rode with my younger brother to work one morning, and he had a sound system in his car. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, the numbers or anything, but he hit 147 decibels with his sound system.
That's smart.
And that's, pretty bordering on, being disruptive to your heart.
How do you know it's 147? Does he have like a measuring device inside of the vehicle that tells you what you're at?
Yeah, he used to go to, these sound competitions and everything, and, they would get it measured. And anyway, it was just ridiculous.
Okay.
And I slept for about 25 minutes straight on the way to work while he just had this thing cranked.
But so clearly, by the way, your brother is one of those people that everyone else on the road hates. When you're in your car and you go, what is that? And you realize the car next to you is making your lungs vibrate.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You couldn't even light a lighter inside his car. The sound waves would just blow it right out.
Is that right?
A quarter on top of the roof, and it would flip a quarter around. It was nuts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I slept through all that.
That actually is pretty cool.
Yeah, you're both stupid, though.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Just so you know.
Oh, there it is. You're both stupid.
I'm inclined to agree with Hot Wings.
Yeah.
That's probably the last time that I'll agree with you in this segment. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Yeah, this is going to cause you some trouble, Hot Wings.
Oh, wait.
Wings, what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings, what Hot Wings thinks.
Free Beer Zane and listeners, I'm more upset than Rush Limbaugh in a room full of third graders chanting the name of Barack Obama. Yeah. Miley Cyrus has quit Twitter. She quit Twitter, guys. No more tweets from Miley Cyrus.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. Now what am I supposed to do when I want to feel connected to tweeners through the insipid tweets of a super precocious teenager who acts sweet but dresses like a skank? This is truly a dark day. It's like the Hiroshima of keeping up with the mundane goings-on of a millionaire teenage girl. So sad. Except, who cares? What will Miley's fans do now that she's not telling them that she's sitting by a pool or brushing her teeth or going shopping? Oh, I know. She'll find a whole new way to annoy everyone. She'll jump from Twitter to YouTube, where she'll star in a rap video she made to explain why she stopped tweeting. The rap video already has over 2 million views. Now, while I may not personally be drawn to the same artists that appeal to teens, I usually at least understand the appeal. Miley, though, I don't get. She has a voice like a man and seems stupid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
But to each his own. I just wish I could find a way to avoid her. It's hard, though. She's everywhere. She's the flu. Easy to come across, but you never want to. Every generation has dopey teen idols. It's just that they were never so annoyingly accessible. I can't even watch Fox News without seeing Miley Cyrus. Anyway, I don't care that Miley Cyrus has quit tweeting. Amazingly, her father does, though. He thinks it's a mistake. I think it's because he bangs her.
No. Oh, come on. They can hear this. They listen in Nashville. What the hell is your problem, you animal?
What I meant to say was because he wants to bang her. But I said bangs her, and I guess it's because that's how I really feel.
It's all terrible.
As if the other one is better.
Well, wants to and does is, that is a little worse. But
way to go.
Whatever.
You were cute and cynical. Now you're just an a-hole.
Good luck with your apology alone.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think Billy Ray does want to have sex with her.
Stop saying it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Just a personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's an observation. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show is next. Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Gore, Carter, Obama, soon Bill Clinton. You see a pattern here, folks. Liberal sellouts get this prize. George Bush liberates 50 million Muslims.
1-800-947-3979. Hot Wings, your instincts were right when you did your commentary, at least in one aspect.
Yeah.
All of the email so far is in support of you. That doesn't surprise me.
Those are right-thinking Americans, but that is.
A lot of people who agree with 100% of it. The overexposure.
Mm-hmm.
The family sex.
They do. They agree with that.
The ones so far say that Hot Wings is 100% right.
Well, I know even on this show we talked about a couple of times where his things with her seemed weird. Like he would do things like, remember that photo shoot in Vanity Fair or whatever? And you just go, their relationship seems odd. I took it to an extreme, obviously.
There are things would imply there's one more, but I don't hear anymore. I hear the one.
Not a lot of evidence. Mark in New Hampshire writes, Hot Wings is on spot. Billy Ray has the same inbred instinct to keep it in the family.
Dear God.
Kayla writes, just want to say thank you. I live in Nashville, and I can't stand Miley. I'm sick of hearing about her, and I can't stand her music.
Yeah.
I agree with Hot Wings. I'm glad someone has the balls to say it.
I don't like her, so she sleeps with her dad. That's what you're saying.
Sean writes, I second the opinion that Miley dresses like a skank and her dad wants to or is banging her.
Come on, no. How can I be the voice of reason to these people?
This
is very topsy-turvy.
Crazy upside-down world.
We also had that other story we focused on about the guy who slept through the house fire.
Mm-hmm.
And when the fire department was busting in the windows after the fire was put out, thinking they're going to recover a body, dude rolls over and goes, "Hey, keep it down! What are you doing breaking the windows?" And then Joe came in and he goes, "Oh, man, you should have played those drops with Joe Elliott from Def Leppard when we had the isolated vocals from Rock of Ages."
I'm burning. Gonna start a fire. We're gonna burn that damn place down.
Again. Oh.
The idea that
let's go, let's strike a light. We're gonna blow like dynamite. Come on.
the idea that they bust through the window and he's actually in bed singing like that.
Doesn't it seem like the theme of a bad 80s music video?
Oh, big time.
Hey, we got a survivor. What are you doing in there?
Gonna start a fire.
Hey,
We're gonna burn that damn place down.
That fire chief looks sexy. Why, that's Tawny Kitaen.
Whoa.
All right.
She's writhing on rubble.
Give me one more for the road, yeah. Now listen to me. Look out.
A beam is about to fall. Look
out.
We were talking about that guy and sleeping through things. This person says they slept through a 4.3 on the Richter scale earthquake on the 8th floor of their college dorm. The bed moved 3 feet while Don was asleep.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And then this guy says that he actually slept through the male snip job.
Oh, like he was so relaxed. Was it drug-induced, you think?
That area was numbed, but he was not drugged. And the doc said, I'll be right back in. And he fell asleep, and he woke up, and the doc said,
oh, that's because the doc had given him roofies.
Yeah, big time.
And then oral pleasure ensued.
That's right.
Probably.
That's what happened.
Yeah, he didn't chapstick on his junk.
He didn't snip anything.
Yeah, he woke up, and the doc was wiping off his mouth.
What?
Nothing.
Forgot my scalpel.
That didn't even hurt. 1-800-947-3979. Sally, your daughter is a Miley Cyrus fan?
Oh, geez.
She is.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it's just the age. You know, how do you tell them? I mean, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm 35, and I really don't remember trying to dress like, I don't know. How do you classify that? How do you tell an 11-year-old that
you're old?
She dresses because she looks like a little hoochie?
So you're suggesting that because of Miley Cyrus, your 11-year-old wants to dress slutty?
Between her and being in junior high, I think, and all the girls that she hangs out with are all fans. I mean, they all wear her clothing, and, you know.
Well, good luck.
That is called
parenting.
Yeah.
Trying on clothes. She's trying to wear my clothes, which, I mean.
Are they also skanky?
No.
Oh.
I dress tastefully.
Well, then you should let her try on your clothes.
Yeah. Sally,
you should buy more clothes and let her borrow them.
Oh, so she's got pajama day at school tomorrow, and she's trying to put an outfit together for pajamas.
But ultimately, you're going...
Great parenting.
Mm-hmm. Ultimately, you're going to win because you control the purse strings.
Yeah.
And
no.
She has her when she leaves the house. But what am I supposed to do? Follow her into school and make sure she's not...
But how does she buy clothing?
Great parenting.
I don't buy clothing that looks like that, but she has a way of tying her shirts up and doing stuff like that.
Well, you got to trust the school then, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I better start giving her some condoms.
I think we're talking to the root of the problem myself, frankly.
Oh.
Better start giving her rubbers. That's right.
Thank you, Sally.
You know,
we can help.
You got to start preaching. You can't get pregnant if it's in the keister.
Oh, God. Oh! I was
pregnancy doesn't happen in the stomach.
Oh
no! Oh my God!
I was
rainbow party.
Those friendship bracelets, right? We're doing a women's panel again at the end of this hour.
Oh, great!
About the top 5 women's fantasies.
Oh God!
And yesterday, in looking for the topic of the women's panel, I went across a link on one of the websites I was looking at that actually had a discussion very similar to what Hot Wings brought up. And at the time I said, well, I don't know in what context it would ever come up. But this discussion was, can someone be considered a slut if they're a virgin? And it was making reference to the woman, and it could be a guy, too, who they say, well, I'm saving sex for marriage, but they are willing to do... Strangely awkward.
Slow down, I smell smoke.
You're going too fast. Damn it. Owie.
God, I am so glad that I have a son. Such different problems to worry about in the future.
Steve is avoiding eye contact. What is this, autobiographical?
Yeah, turned on.
What's your problem?
What's the deal?
Thinking about Andy 2 times next to you? What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
Oh, I'm good. Oh.
But it seems I missed anal.
So there's that question. Can you be slutty?
Yes. Sure can.
Yeah, absolutely.
The answer is yes. I don't think anyone could make the argument in a real way that the answer could be no.
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, if you're engaged in a bunch of sexual activities, but you're only missing one.
With lots of,
Well,
and if it's lots of partners.
Yeah. Oh, you're still a complete slut.
What if you're
Did you just edit your whore to say
Well,
slut?
I was going to say horrible slut,
Oh, okay.
and I just stopped short, so it sounded like horse slut.
You're either a whore or, I mean, a slut.
And it could. What if you're with the same person the whole time? Then it's the same thing. You wouldn't be a slut then.
No, you just meet a girl you wanted. That'd be a great girlfriend. The girl who gives it up.
Would you now? What if it's a guy who said he won't? He's saving it for marriage, but he engages in everything else.
And that's okay.
Well, the terminology is different. Men aren't really called sluts, but it's the same.
I mean, it's the
concept.
same thing. It'd be
it's
skanky, I guess, for lack of
basically the same concept.
An appropriate term.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned in college before that there was a girl one night when we were all staying up late and talking. We stayed up all night, and at about 4:30 in the morning, no booze was involved. She all of a sudden revealed that she's saving it for marriage, but that she was totally into everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that's more the norm. I would say it's rare that you get a girl or a guy who's, that's all we do is we peck on the cheek. I mean, come on. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, you get that sometimes, but
it was worth the discussion, just for the reenactment. Let's be honest. It's amazing how one little addition changes everything. One small.
Well, they stepped on a pudding cup. What can I say?
Pudding cup. On a completely different note, this is a story I wanted to get to today, but I didn't know when we'd have time. In the next segment, we have to tell you about the very special Monday Night Football.
No.
If you watched last night, you may have seen this. But if you
incredible
didn't,
game.
You're missing something spectacular.
Yep.
Who played last night?
The Jets and the Dolphins.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Dolphins won a very close game. The Jets have now lost 2 in a row after starting 3-0.
Unbelievable finish.
But it was the beginning that draws our attention in this case.
Who cares about the big finish?
Yep. This was one of my earliest and most favorite sports memories from when I was a kid. 1989. The Michigan Wolverines won a national basketball championship. Bill Frieder, the head coach, walks out on the team right before the tournament. Bo Schembechler announces that he's going to have a Michigan man coaching a Michigan team.
Yeah. Schembechler was in charge of the entire athletic department at that time.
Steve Fisher is promoted to coach. He's never really been a head coach at the collegiate level. And all of a sudden, this team of what ended up being future great NBA talent makes a magical run through the NCAA tournament, even though they had just been blown out on their own floor on senior day by the Illinois Fighting Illini, who had been one of the top teams all year. And they end up winning the national championship. And in that national championship game, because you guys grew up in Michigan, Hoppings, you were a Michigan fan, you can tell me who hit the 2 game-winning free throws against Seton Hall in overtime to ice the victory. Who was it?
I believe. Well, it was either Glenn Rice or Ramil Robinson. I can't remember.
It was the gutty point guard from Massachusetts, Ramil Robinson.
Okay. I do remember the game, though, man. What a hell of a finish.
He's a great college basketball player. Not a great NBA player. Signed one contract worth $4.2 million with the Atlanta Hawks. Still a lot of money.
Still pretty nice, you know.
He was a top draft pick. 20 years later, Ramil, or as he was derisively referred to by Michigan State fans back then, Remedial, Ramil Robinson is broke and homeless.
He's homeless? Oh, man.
How does this happen? Well, in this case, the answer is very simple.
Let me guess. Drugs.
No. But the same kind of spending.
A different vice.
Food.
His adoptive brother, Donald Barrows, says that Ramil would go on binges for 2 weeks at a time where he would spend $20,000 a night, not on drugs.
I know what.
What?
Gambling.
No. Those are the choices you'd think of. He was dropping $20,000 a night at a strip club.
Oh, okay.
How the hell?
You really got to be going to town and making it rain to spend $20,000 at a strip club per night.
He would then hire some of the strippers to come back to his place, get naked, and clean his house for $500 to $1,000 each. This was a guy who believed that $4.29 million pre-taxes and pre-agent would be enough to last him forever if he spent $20,000 a night on strippers.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, how weird is it that you're paying them to come back and clean your house?
Yeah. What a dummy. That's somebody who just doesn't have the foresight to realize that it could dry up.
Hard to believe it didn't work out. Special night on Monday Night Football last night.
Yeah.
They celebrated the heritage of a people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In front of the nation.
We'll get to that.
Get to that coming up in a moment. We'll also get to our women's panel at the end of this hour.
All right.
The top 5 women's fantasies. We'll see if the ladies and their fantasies match what this article says they are. That's coming up. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
That's the reaction when people learned how a man tried to stretch his penis to make it bigger.
One 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. A little bit later on, we'll have a women's panel returning where we'll need some women to help us out and teach us about a variety of things. Mm-hmm. That's coming up a little bit later on. It's about the top 5, according to at least this website, the top 5 female fantasies.
Mm-hmm. Look, I don't speak Spanish.
Last night, the National Football League, Monday Night Football, was a big game. 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter. That's a lot.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
The Dolphins, game being played in Miami. The Dolphins end up getting the win.
Yep.
Over the New York Jets, who started out 3-0, now 3-2 with their quarterback Mark Sanchez.
So it was a big victory for the Dolphins. They win it late in dramatic fashion. So that's that.
Absolutely.
But the big story was that, guys, we've been off the air. All of us on the show, when we get off, we as a show have been celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And they were doing it as well in the NFL for Hispanic Heritage Month. And it started off with, do you want the president or do you want the penalty?
I would go in order. The president started the broadcast last night.
President did start the broadcast with a historic pregame Hispanic Heritage Month speech.
I want to join the NFL in recognizing another reason to celebrate, Hispanic Heritage Month. Tonight, young players like Mark Sanchez and Greg Camarillo follow in the footsteps of legends like Hall of Famer Anthony Munoz or Joe Aguirre, the first Latino drafted into the NFL in 1941. The lives and careers on drugs, these great American athletes are a testament to the determination, courage, and teamwork that have always made this country great.
I think the American people are hungry for this package.
They've shown young fans across America and around the world that if you dream big enough and work hard enough, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Our nation faces extraordinary challenges right now.
You won the Nobel Peace Prize.
To tackle them will depend on our.
Can you imagine if he did that? He said, and I won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Perhaps you should listen to me. I am a prize winner.
I don't think we're playing the right version of this, though. I thought this is the way it sounded.
I want to join the NFL in recognizing another reason to celebrate, Hispanic Heritage Month.
There are white folks, and then there are ignorant motherfuckers like you.
Has a different sound to it.
Little different. It's weird. But they went. They in order to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, what they did was the league made the first penalty announced in Spanish.
Okay, makes sense, I guess.
El número 81 de la ofensiva arrancó ante la jugada. 5 yardas, segundo down.
Alberto Riron was a side judge in the NFL in 2004. This is second season as a referee. He's been an official now for 6 years.
They announced the penalty in Spanish.
Now, I don't think Hispanic Heritage Month as a whole, I have no problem with that.
No.
I'm not sure why the NFL feels the need to celebrate it.
Well, how exactly does that honor or do anything other than, we just did a penalty and said it in Spanish?
Woo! Look, we know Hispanic Heritage Month exists. You can tell because we spoke some Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, what exactly does that do?
Nothing.
Celebrate Hollings.
I don't understand. Like during Black History Month, did they start a penalty with "I have a dream"? I mean, I don't get it. It doesn't.
I have a dream.
I mean,
personal foul.
Yeah,
number 55 defense, unabated to the quarterback, blow to the head, 15-yard penalty, first down.
How does that honor or actually take part in anything? Because you just said it in a different language.
When the NFL was a bunch of white guys running around and training by lifting car tires, do you think they had German Heritage Month?
I doubt it.
Come on, don't miss your cue.
That is a 5-yard penalty. Clipping. It was a full-on blitzkrieg.
Unabated blitzkrieg to the quarterback. Penalty number 55, Hogan.
He blindsided that man like we blindsided the London people.
Number 63 to the gas chamber.
Oh, no.
Always one too many.
Yep, always one too many.
Try and guess which one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we thought, wouldn't it be something if they really embraced it? And like the ref, Joe said, what if the ref came out in a sombrero?
If they went too far and actually became insulting because of their ridiculous stereotypes?
It was like honor Hispanics the Michael Scott way.
Yes.
From The Office. Come out with a sombrero with little dingle balls on it, and some kind of a rug thrown over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. At halftime, they don't go to the locker room. All the players put on a sombrero and take a nap right on the field.
It's like, what? We're honoring. What? Completely brainless.
I'll bet there are people who are actually bent that the NFL did this, though. That section of the American population that says, well, they can learn to speak English if they want to live here.
That's a big deal, man. A lot of people don't like that. I mean, whatever. I mean, the language generally is spoken English, but there are so many Hispanics here that it's probably a good thing to learn it at some point.
Yeah. I have a friend who actually has complained and has been made fun of for it. Well, how come when I go to an ATM, I have to choose English or Spanish? At which point the rest of us said, yeah, it's real hard. Just press the one you want. You also have to choose withdrawal or deposit. You don't freak out about that, Nancy.
Yeah, go to any foreign language in the world, and you will find that you have English as a choice.
I mean, in another country.
Any other country. So.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Made my head spin there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like when I do that, huh?
Yeah.
No,
exactly. That's
no wonder you raise an eyebrow and look confused.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Doesn't make sense. I knew what you were getting at.
So, yeah. That was that. Monday Night Football celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder,
what a commitment.
And I would be curious from someone who's listening who is of Hispanic heritage, if you watch that and go, that was great. I'm glad they did that. That was nice of them to give a nod to my culture. I wonder because if that's the case, then that would probably change my perspective on it. Because my gut says, why did they bother?
I would think, and I don't know, but I'm just guessing most Hispanic people couldn't care less that they did.
Yeah.
That they announced one penalty in Spanish. I can't imagine that would have made them feel cool in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks for the recognition. I mean, who cares? Most of them can speak English. It's not like they need you to do that.
Yeah, they're not stupid. Odds are they probably feel like they're being pandered to.
I would think so.
It almost seems like a marketing ploy. Like, well, we got to get more Hispanic people interested in the National Football League.
Yeah.
What about this?
Right.
Greg in Nashville. Hi, Greg.
Hey. You guys are going to probably take this wrong. I don't mean it this way. I understand Hispanic Heritage Month and African American, I understand it all, and I agree with it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. This is a melting pot. What about Italian American Month? How about Irish American Month?
Yeah, but most Italians...
Yeah, they got Columbus Day. They just had it, man. It's a big deal.
How many times have you been walking down the street and heard somebody speaking Italian?
Yeah, no. Well, I know a lot of people speak Italian. But my point being is it just seems like the ones that are, we have a lot of illegal immigrants as far
True.
as
Well,
there's a
yeah.
big problem, and I think that they cater to them.
Well, but there are illegal immigrants, certainly from Latin countries, but there are millions of legal immigrants and people who have born here that are U.S. citizens. So I don't think you should say, well, we can't. No, there are some illegal immigrants, so we can't do something. I mean, I don't. I think
what's the deal with those two races, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
So, Greg, is your problem?
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just asking. It's a question.
Yeah.
That's
Well, no.
what I'm asking.
I think it sounds like you have a problem with it. Is your concern that they don't have months for other nationalities or ethnicities, or is your concern that they do have months for those two?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying, why is it only those two?
Okay, so we've narrowed it down to you have.
I think you were going to take the question wrong, and I knew you were going to, but that's not what I'm
don't
saying.
jump to that conclusion. We're trying to clarify what you're asking because, again, your tone would suggest you're saying one thing, but what you're actually asking says another. So we're trying to clear that up.
Okay, well, maybe my tone is wrong, but I didn't mean it that way. What I'm trying to say is it seems like it comes out wrong, too. It seems like the people who are having a lot of problems, that there's always, we're not getting treated fairly, we're not getting this fairly, are the ones they do these months for. It's almost like they're trying to, the government, whoever makes these holidays, is trying to, appease these people, I guess I'm trying to say.
Greg, let me ask you this, because three of us on the show are of German heritage.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And we did it facetiously earlier when we played the music and Hot Wings did the voice. But if they had German Heritage Month and honored great NFL players, and I can't think of one on the spot, but who had German ethnicity, I'm sure there's thousands or hundreds. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be just as ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, I would actually, no, I take it back. I think it would be considerably more ridiculous because most people who are of German heritage in the United States have no concept of what it means to be of German heritage. There is nothing in my life, and I don't think in Hot Wings' life, that has any nod to the fact that my family came from Germany other than my last name.
Plus, there's so many. I mean, we border with that country. There's so many people in this country who are Mexican. So that's a huge number of Hispanic people that are in this country.
Yeah, okay.
So the number is high.
I agree with that. I mean, like I said, I was just asking. It just seems like
sure. Here's the first. Mm-hmm.
It just, my wife's an immigrant too.
Yeah.
She has a green card and everything. But it just seems, I don't know.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think any of us were saying, "Oh, Greg in Nashville's a racist." We're not saying that.
No, Joe is.
Joe is. Joe is.
In fact, producer Joe writes, "Here's the first football penalty, the first penalty of the game when Craig gets his way."
I knew that was coming. Thank you, Greg.
15-yard penalty. Yep. Intentional grounding. First down.
David Hernandez writes. He writes, David Hernandez here, born and raised in Michigan. Both parents are Hispanic from Cuba. Okay. I could care less that the penalty was announced in Spanish.
Couldn't care less.
I'd much rather people start realizing that Hispanic doesn't mean Mexican, which, by the way, a lot of people do get that wrong, that one is not necessarily the other. Women's panel next. We're going to need 4 women who will be a part of our women's panel. We'll be talking about female fantasies, so don't call if that's something that's not in your comfort zone.
Yeah, so we need good imagination.
That's next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Sure, you may think these guys suck.
These Pharisees, sycophants, gelatinous tapeworms.
But you're the one listening to them.
1-800-947-3979. Don't forget Thursday, Dumber Than Zane Trivia presented by Cat Footwear. $3,200 on the line. In a minute, we're going to welcome our women's panel. But we got this email. This is an important reminder of what can happen. And it's always kind of funny from our perspective when this happens. Scott in Nashville writes, so I pull up to the bank window to make a deposit, and the teller comes on the intercom. Intercom, that is. It's not called an intercom. It's called an intercom. And right as she's ready for my response, she hears Hitler coming through my car speakers. Now the people at the bank no doubt think that I drive around with Hitler cranked up on my stereo all day. Mm-hmm. That is unfortunate timing. And that would be a little off-putting if you said, "Hi, have a good day. Is this for deposit?" What? I don't know German.
Mm-hmm. Which is good.
Sounds like angry German, but all German sounds angry. It's a return of the wildly popular Free Beer and Hot Wings Show women's panel.
Excellent. We learn things during these.
We do. Bitch! We're welcoming them, and that's not exactly...
That's a badge of honor for certain ladies. I know that. I've talked to some women who take great pride in. Yeah.
Some don't.
Some don't. It's true. Some don't.
Meet our panel. Chelsea in Nashville. Hello, Chelsea.
Oh, it's Darcy.
Darcy. Hello, Darcy. Will you change that so I don't say Chelsea every time? Because I will. Welcome, Darcy. Jessica in North Carolina. Hi, Jessica.
Hello.
Lisa in New Jersey. Hi, Lisa.
What's up?
And Heather in West Michigan. Hi, Heather.
Hey.
Once again, we have a women's panel spread from all over the different parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And today, Darcy, Jessica, Lisa, and Heather, we're going to actually do this sort of like when I present a list to Hot Wings and Zane, and I'm going to ask for your guesses. But you will have very educated guesses in this case, because this is supposedly the top 5 female sex fantasies. And when you give these, by the way, make sure you give them in a radio-friendly fashion.
Yeah, not like the way you talk at home.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't be all filthy.
We know you're filthy.
So they say these are the top 5. So in theory, with a minimal number of guesses between the 4 of you, we should be able to get all 5 of them. And some of them, at least when we were looking at it in the office yesterday, seemed a little bit surprising to us. And a couple of them we've referenced on the show before. So Darcy in Nashville, if you don't mind, if we could start with you, do you have, and that doesn't necessarily have to be something of yours, though I think it would be easiest to draw from the well of things that you fantasize about. So, if you were to try to guess what one of the top 5 women's sexual fantasies is, what would you guess?
Being with another girl.
Being with another girl is not on there.
But that's yours, right,
but
Darcy?
That's yours.
Shockingly enough, yes.
It is. Okay.
Well,
now,
obviously,
have you been with another woman before?
No, I have not.
Okay, so you've been only with dudes.
Only with dudes.
Now,
all right.
Have you ever told a man that you were with in a relationship that you would welcome another woman, or would it not ever go that far?
It's been discussed.
It has.
Yeah.
Well, what homos do you date?
Yeah.
Too many, I guess.
Yeah, why isn't that happening?
Hell.
Too many.
Jesus.
Jessica in North Carolina, do you have a guess?
A rape fantasy.
Believe it or not, that one's on there.
It is?
It's referred to in this case as safe rape. And I know we're going to get emails saying you guys are glorifying rape. We're not.
It's not the actuality of rape. It's the fantasy of it. Like you know, just like some really hot guy like grabbing you out of the middle of nowhere and throwing you down on the ground.
And forcing you to have sex.
Yeah. Is it more? It's less about what people think of.
More of the surprise factor of a really hot guy like coming out of nowhere, more than the forcing you to do it.
Are you saying that if there was some really hot guy who walked up to you and subdued you like that, you would let him do that?
I mean, I couldn't tell you. It's never really happened to me. So
I know that, but I'm just saying. I'm saying if generally you were put in that scenario, you would or may.
It's a possibility if I was single.
And Jessica, I think a lot of women would say that this is something that it's with a man you know and trust, but you're playing in a fantasy role similar to like someone playing dress up. Is that more what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's more like the thing. But you know, I mean, it's just the fantasy of it, just kind of pretending like there's somebody, you know.
Yeah. Well, no one's judging you. We're just getting to the bottom of it. So there you go. A rape fantasy is on the list.
And this is how they describe it. Just to put this out there. They refer to it as safe rape. They say that safe rape scenario appeals to women because it frees them up to do dirty things they would not otherwise. Jessica, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. There you go.
Darcy, what about you? Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense to me.
Does that appeal to you at all?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Lisa, how about you?
Hell no.
Hell no.
That does not at all. No.
Heather?
I'm undecided.
Undecided.
Well, think
okay.
about it.
But still, 2 out of 4. I mean, that explains why it would make it into the top 5. Now, we've talked about before as guys, it'd have to be a pretty specific scenario before a lot of guys would be very comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I alone?
Getting raped or raping someone?
I would say being the partner to the lady fulfilling her fantasy of safe rape.
That would be pretty weird. That would be pretty weird.
Just about.
All right, so that one is on there. We've gotten one of the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa in New Jersey, do you have a guess?
I'm new to this panel, so I just have a quick question. Is it supposed to be my fantasy, or am I supposed to guess what's on your list?
Well, it's the top 5 women's fantasies, and if
it's your top fantasy and it hasn't been said in the first 2, it's probably on there. So I'd go with yours.
If you blurt out sex with a midget clown, then perhaps.
Not on my top 5 list.
Well, what is yours?
I'm torn between 2. My personal one would be probably 2 guys.
All right.
All right.
Hot Wings, do you think that's on the list?
Yes.
Zane?
Absolutely.
It is.
Okay, so is this like a sandwich deal?
It doesn't get. Are you asking Lisa or the list?
Yeah, both.
The list doesn't say if it's a sandwich or not. Lisa, do you have a thought?
Well, they'd be in 2 different places, so I don't know.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah, for
I got
sure.
it.
That's all we need to know.
High-fiving.
DP.
One of the other ladies on the panel made a clear ew sound. Who was that?
That was me.
Darcy?
Name?
Jessica.
Darcy and Jessica both are saying no thank you.
No,
Okay.
God, awful.
Jessica, is that because men are inherently pretty unattractive?
No, it's just, I don't see any, one guy is fine enough. I do not need to try to, guys are more dominating in the sexual experience anyway, and they want to be pleased, and God knows if you don't please them most of the time, they get ill about it. I do not want to have 2 of those. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but what if they're there just to pleasure you?
Yeah,
I mean,
they
you
don't even
clearly have
care.
had some real baggage in your history, but
But
what if they were there just to please you? You know, you didn't even have to worry about it. You just had to get, stooped.
It's just weird to me because I told my boyfriend the only way we'd have a threesome is with a lesbian because I don't want any girl touching him. So I don't want another guy in a thing because it's just weird. I'm my man's woman, and that's all I want to be.
Yeah. Maybe you and Darcy should get together, make a trip from North Carolina to Nashville.
Darcy, can you pretend to be a lesbian?
Oh, yeah. Because Darcy mentioned that as a possibility. Yeah, Heather, how about you?
Well, hot.
The fantasy?
Yes. Yeah. Would that be one that applies to you?
Yeah, actually, I would like that. But
You
my
would.
boyfriend always says only if it was with a clone of me. But obviously, that's not
he's
gonna
living in a
happen,
fantasy
so.
world.
Yeah,
Plus, it's got to be like some guy who plays quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's actually kind of disgusting that he only wants to have sex with himself.
That is. That's actually just as
I
bad.
was like, so are you only gay with yourself?
Yeah, he is personally self-actualized gay. Is what he is.
I think that's true.
He looks in the mirror and grabs himself.
Does a tuck.
We've gotten 2 out of the 5. Heather, do you have a guess? And then we'll.
I would say sex in public.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the one. That's number 4 on their list. Says whether you're a man or woman, the thrill of getting caught with your pants down is pretty universal. Yes or no, have you ever engaged in that activity? Darcy?
Yes.
Jessica?
Okay. Many times.
Lisa?
Sex on the beach.
Heather?
Yes.
Okay.
In a restaurant.
This is a restaurant.
In a
by the way.
restaurant. Wow. Okay. What?
Really?
What time of day at this restaurant?
It was actually right around lunchtime. So
How did you pull that off?
Yeah, I mean,
Did you
where were you? Like in the booth or?
Yeah, it was a booth, and I had a skirt, and he was sitting on the edge of the booth, and everybody was kind of in the back. So.
Wow.
This is, by the way, the greatest women's panel we've ever had. Let's be honest.
Very
this
impressive. I could listen to this all day.
Wow. I've done a movie theater.
A movie theater?
A movie theater. Yeah.
Was it crowded?
Semi.
Have any of the 4 of you ever been caught?
No. Almost.
Almost? Who said almost?
Heather.
Heather? Where did you almost get caught?
We were at, it was another, I was an outdoor area, and it was during the day, and it was kind of a park, and we were outside, and a whole, big group of, a class of kids came in for, a field trip, and we were, zip up and run.
Wow, you have been banged everywhere.
Heather, are you in a relation? And I don't think Hot Wings says that in a pejorative sense. I think you're saying it as a compliment.
Yeah, I mean we've already gotten restaurant, park, and movie theater, so.
Maybe everywhere, but not by everyone.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, I didn't say you were a whore. I just said you've been banged everywhere.
Jessica was the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, Jessica was the movie theater.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We got the biggest pie ever.
I'm going to give you the last two because unfortunately we're running out of time, and that's going to make a lot of people angry.
Yeah, I'm mad.
God, everybody's all hot.
Go another hour.
Number 2 is having a sex slave. Believe it or not, the idea of having...
Yeah.
So you want to be like a dominatrix.
Who said hell yeah?
Hell yeah. Jessica.
Jessica's in on that one.
Yeah,
Darcy, how about
she's
you?
Filthy.
You know, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Lisa?
Doesn't do anything for me.
Heather?
Maybe if I was the slave, like bondage, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Poorish mouth.
Oh, you.
But
hell
Jessica,
of a girl.
I would go both ways.
Jessica, now have you, or is this something that down the road it's on your?
I haven't gone the full like leather and whip. Well, I did a whip one time, but I wasn't in leather.
And the last one is this one is probably I don't know if it's the most tame, but making a sex tape.
Yeah.
Darcy, would you do that, or have you?
Yes, I have.
Jessica?
Okay.
I haven't done it yet, but I would. I just didn't have batteries at the time.
Lisa?
Would do it.
Heather?
Yes, I would. I know he wants to, but I keep saying when we're married and it's under my control. Like,
Right now, if you want to see a videotape of Heather doing it, you have to check security cameras.
Yeah.
That's
Are any of you on a website?
Oh, you can't say that.
do.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you did. We dumped it, but
that was for those of us in the studio, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it gave 5 of us something to think about for the rest of the day.
She said that her boyfriend has tons of videos of her.
Well, this is without a
top
doubt.
Of the head.
Can we all agree best women's panel ever?
Yeah, could we start these at like 7 a.m. next time?
That's what we're going to do. Darcy, Jessica, Lisa, and Heather, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
See you later, bitches.
That is a great example of show code right there.
Oh, God. It's the best example of show code. Why do we do anything else?
I know.
Really.
It's funny because the women's panel started as an on-the-fly, hey, let's get some women to comment on this. And then we did another one. And then we did another one. And now, like after doing the one last week, I had a number of emails to my personal account that said, why are you not doing those once a week?
We learned so
the
much.
The women's panel, the black panel, the Jew panel, all these panels are big. The Muslim panel.
We do want to do a black panel. That was something we were going to be doing today, and we didn't get a chance. So that one's on the horizon.
That'll be our thing.
Yeah, well, we're trying to learn. I mean, we pretty much got nerdy white guy nailed down.
Yeah.
So we don't need that panel. We got ourselves for that.
Tell me you didn't learn from that segment.
I learned plenty.
Possible.
Always has a stiffy. You can tell he's all amped up.
Yeah. Bothered.
We'll take a break.
In a good way.
It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. .97.9 GRD, Grand Rapids Rock Alternative. It's the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. We've gotten a few emails about the women's panel.
Yeah.
It appears people are very pleased by the women's panel. In fact, already one saying, when are you going to replay it?
Oh, I see.
We actually will replay that at 7:36 tomorrow. Just FYI.
Okay. No, yeah, that was terrific.
And again, thanks to the ladies, including Heather from here in West Michigan.
Brutally honest, you know. I mean, women are have needs and desires too. It isn't just pig dudes. I wouldn't say dudes are pigs for thinking anything similar to what they think. I don't think they're pigs.
Not at all.
I think they're normal.
The last time we did a women's panel, I got an email from a woman who said, you know, when I first tuned into your show, and I don't have it in front of me, so I'm paraphrasing, but she said, I thought you guys were a bunch of pigs, but the fact that you are comfortable enough to let women talk about that stuff and then still be yourselves and react the way you do, the same way a guy would, says you're bigger than I first gave you credit for. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but that was the sense of it. I don't know if that's true. But.
There's always some confusion, too, about the dump. Mm-hmm. When we dump, when we get rid of audio that we don't want, someone says something either that's not appropriate for regular broadcast, it's only affiliated with the terrestrial radio, like your car stereo, your home stereo.
Your regular radio.
Yeah, the stream, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's
the
Wild
internet
West.
Is different.
There is no regulation on that. So when we dump, it only goes towards radio. The live stream is unaffected. You could go on the air and say F you over and over again, and we'd dump here.
Yeah,
but
you can say whatever you want on the internet.
It would just it would go over.
Thank goodness.
So, because we've got numerous emails saying, that didn't dump on the radio.
I heard it.
You jerk. You're listening on your computer, and you are stupid. Michael, whoever you are. He sent the email like 5 times.
I think people, like you said, people just don't differentiate between the radio over-the-air broadcast and the internet broadcast. So Steve's dad's in town. Is there one thing that, because he's only in town for a day or two, if he's going to give his father a slice of West Michigan, where does he take him? Steve, you got to do something nice with your dad.
That's true. Well, we already know Steve is already not impressed with the lake and said on the radio, I don't get it. I don't get lakes.
Yeah, you were fearful of Lake Michigan.
Terrified.
Fearful of the lake. Isn't there a musical fountain or something?
If you could be closer to the microphone so I could turn it down, it won't feed back like that.
There you go.
That would be in Grand Haven, I'm guessing there is a musical fountain.
Yeah, you'd have to go sit with your dad on the banks of the water in Grand Haven.
You don't want your dad to look queer, do you?
Do that at night. I don't think that's gonna work.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
You should
Try
take him.
sticking it in your father's ear.
You could do that.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's not a very West Michigan thing to do, but you could do it nonetheless.
Yep.
Okay. Boy, I don't know.
Maybe take him. You should. They're probably closed. It's too late, but you could take him to Silver Lake. You loved that more than anything else in your life.
You should have planned that out.
Yeah.
And they would have let you just run havoc. You could have just done anything.
I'll call them up. Maybe they're still around.
Go dune buggy riding with your dad.
That'd be sweet.
Be good and warm.
As long as I get that fast, the fast dune buggy again.
I was showing those photos to my mother-in-law last night from when we all went. And it quickly reminded both my wife and I, and the same thing we all said, that was maybe the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah, that was just what I at least would refer to as stupid fun.
It was.
Hey, why don't you make out with your dad again? Why don't you choke on your dad's corn dog?
You could do that.
Those are all options.
Have you thought of those things?
Horribly inappropriate.
I think your red face suggests that you believe your dad may be listening right now. Tell him you don't want to choke on his corn dog.
Yeah, shouldn't have told him the frequency.
I don't want to choke on your corn dog, Dad.
Why don't you choke on your dad's corn dog?
Again, the suggestion is made. Steve, are you uncomfortable?
Yes,
you appear to be more uncomfortable than you've ever appeared before.
That is, Well, normally there's that buffer of I won't see this person for weeks, maybe months. In this case, it's hours.
Okay.
That's not.
Well, is there a chance that he's not listening?
There is.
Yeah.
I don't know how likely it is, but
all right. Well, there you go.
So that's that.
You got that going for you, Steve.
Yeah.
so,
well, thanks for all your help, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
lots of good suggestions.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't really have a suggestion as to what to do. I mean,
I don't know what your dad's into.
The phrase "What's your dad into?"
Other than the dune buggy thing, it's a good idea.
It's a perfectly normal thing to say, but it almost seems like you're suggesting that his dad is into something inappropriate.
No, well, I mean,
I
he
know
might
you're
be
not.
into fishing, or I don't know. Hell, he might be into bird watching,
snowballing.
Oh boy,
salad tossing. I don't know. Is he a chef?
Tell me you saw this coming, Steve.
When he said that, it was like he was just placing the baseball right on the tee.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just taking the bat, taking a mighty swing.
Yep.
That's true.
Guys, there was an observation I had about a little thing that just started. You know, there's a brand new television show on Channel 8.
8 West.
8 West, and that is, I don't know.
Rachel Ruiz and Terry DeBoer?
Pardon.
Yes.
Terry DeBoer and Rachel Ruiz. Yes, they're doing a 1-hour show where they do things that you would find on a locally produced talk show, and it's on for an hour. It's a lot. That's a lot of work.
Yep.
To put together a show like that, and they just got started. And funny interaction with you see, also in this building is the legendary Jerry Barnaby, and Barnaby is a TV guy first before radio guy, if I'm not mistaken. With plenty of TV experience.
Spent years on TV, for sure.
Yes.
Sweetness times 10.
And, it has been on like a staple. I guess I don't remember exactly what he did because it was before we had gotten here, and I hadn't seen a lot of his work leading up to it. But, all the time, all of it, a lot of these slice of life,
a lot of human interest stories, that kind of
Barnaby.
stuff. Yeah.
And so he's sitting there in the break room with me, and I'm eating a salad, and this show happens to debut. It was their very first day on the air. And I have not seen much of this show. So I can't say good, bad, indifferent. Probably.
I haven't actually heard any of it. I've seen it on several times. The first day, a little stiff. They're trying to get their legs a little bit, but first day.
I wouldn't want to be judged on our first day.
No, you got to give it a couple of weeks.
You cannot judge any type of talk-based show, television or radio or newscast or anything until you let them get their legs and get comfortable and give them a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
This is what they said before Barnaby started reacting. Hello, everyone. That's all they said. And then I hear, oh, my gosh. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's just awful. Oh, my gosh, these two. Whoa. Oh, man, stinky. P.U. Yuck. Whoa. Oh, my. How did they? Oh. Whoa. This is. Woo. Boy, they better. Uh-huh.
It's the longest he ever went without observational small talk.
He was beside himself. And I want to say, how jealous can you be right now?
I guess in Barnaby's defense, it is horrible.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it.
I have.
Really? Well, I don't know.
What it is. It's terrible.
But I think normally
it's an awful, boring show. Take 5 is the S compared to that.
Oh, Jesus.
Take 5 is awesome.
I'm trying to be diplomatic about this. That's very difficult when you're saying.
You try to cultivate relationships.
Trying to stay more middle of the road.
We hang out all the time.
Oh, I see Terry all the time at the hockey games.
I'm sorry. I don't. I'm fine with saying the show. I think they're great on everything else they do. I think they're awesome.
Man, do you?
No,
you do not.
I don't really know anything else they do.
So do not think that. Oh my God.
Joe does make a point though, because if it was Suzanne Jiha hosting this, it would be you would actually be able to hear the bus running over her.
Yeah,
that is true.
Because we would be driving and honking the horn, going, "Ha ha, your show's
yeah." But at the same time,
I wish it was.
Because we've seen her for years, and everybody's seen her magic. So there is no room for improvement.
Agreed.
So, but this show, I would say there's plenty of room for improvement. So, thus, I wasn't quick to lower that boom as Joe did.
Yeah, Joe, how much have you watched of 8 West? How much more than Barnaby? 5 minutes more?
And seeing it is not the same as actually watching it, because it's on in the office all the time, but we don't hear it very. It's on mute.
There's plenty of audience that would like that show.
Okay.
Clearly. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it.
How much have you seen of it?
I don't know. I couldn't put a time on it.
Joe, is it possible
I have not watched a full episode
snippets
completely.
So, Joe, your reaction was similar to the person who tunes into our show for the first time when we start in a new market and then says, what you were talking about right now wasn't funny. You guys suck. I hope you get fired.
I heard 2 minutes of it.
It could be compared to that. And you know what? Maybe that show will grow on me.
Okay, well, if that happens, then you have to say sorry. You have to go deliver flowers to them and say you're sorry.
No, I won't. Because right now I think it's horrible. I'm speaking my mind.
What if they're big fans, Joe? What if they really admire you and you're actually breaking their hearts right now?
Yeah, how would you feel?
That would suck, man. I mean, Terry loves us. I talk to Terry all the time. She goes, I got an email one time. She goes, you guys are so amazing. What you do and what you've done in this town is just amazing. I remember the email.
I think they're both really attractive.
That's patronizing.
Well, I can't wait till they have us on their show and don't invite Joe.
Yeah. I hope they just have Joe.
Oh, that'd be
awkward
even
would
better.
that be?
If they actually go investigative reporter on his ass.
So, I hope they actually do a live shot in Rosa Parks Circle one day.
So if you're the producer of 8 West, please let it be known, Producer Joe, it would be good to get Joe on there.
Oh, by the way, I think it's well produced. Whoever that guy is, doing an awesome job.
Yeah. You
really?
think so?
Yeah.
What do they do that makes it well produced?
I don't know. I just felt
the
like
4.5 minutes you've watched.
Yeah. I hate the show, but it looks great. Yeah. So says Joe.
It's an interesting stand you've taken today, Joe.
You can't even define your producer's role, let alone theirs.
I got to stick with the producers. That's basically it.
It's pretty much the same. Radio producer and TV producer.
Brotherhood, man.
Have a lot in common.
Yeah, there's so much similar. You go outside and roll around in feces for Joe Stunts. That's so the same as producer of TV show.
I understand the producer from 8 West today is doing a stunt where they have to barf on people and see their reaction.
I'll still stick with him.
We should do that one, by the way.
Do you think the producer of 8 West is going to go mess with Robert S.'s little rallies and yell he hates Catholics?
No, I think my producer role is much more fun than his.
Which, by the way, and that is absolutely true. One of the funniest things.
Mm-hmm. That was fun. Well, JT is in next. Producer Joe's TV reviews can be seen at freebeerandhotwings.com in his blog section.
You can,
it's actually not a bad idea. JT's in next. It's 97.9 GRD.